Hey everyone, Jeremy Quarter Pounder here. I hope you're having a great day. Today, it has been revealed that the absolute waste of space and cringe as hell Twitch streamer, Dr. Dick Pics Erect,
check me out, I'm so wacky. Look at my hair, I'm so wacky,
has allegedly been accused of sending inappropriate messages to a child. Now, many online reports have stated that Dr. Dick Pics Erect had adult communications with a fan who was still a minor at the time. But before we dive deep into that, first a word from today's sponsors, Cream Cape. Like me, do you spend all of your time fondling the junk of moronic YouTubers like a pathetic submissive beta only to get covered in yogurt? Do you constantly offer firm handshakes like a little bitch to low-life influencers for clout and tribal safety, only to get splooged on like a wacky game show contestant? Then you should try Cream Cape. Cream Cape is a quick and easy workaround when you got to give that reach around without taking a cream pie in the eye. So, Dr. Dick Pics Erect. Okay, so back to the story now, because this is a popular streamer, and because it's disgusting, degenerate behavior, then I'm immediately going to throw myself on my sword and stand up for him, regardless of how bad it is.
Yeah, okay, so I issued a statement actually admitting to messaging a minor, though.
To start off with, I'll say he definitely didn't do anything and call other people stupid for saying otherwise.
But I did do it.
Then once all the other YouTube zeros jump on board and do the same thing, we'll say that maybe he wasn't aware of what he was doing. He didn't know he was messaging a child.
Maybe he didn't know he was messaging a child.
I knew I was messaging a child. It's in the tweet.
You know, excuse the despicable behavior as not to tarnish our connections with popular influencers, of course.
What the fuck? I've completely admitted to inappropriately messaging a minor.
No, you didn't.
I've literally written it in a public statement.
No, you definitely didn't do it. Let me give you a firm handshake.
God damn it, I've admitted to it.
Don't worry, I know you didn't do anything. I've got your back. Anything you need.
Shh. I think I'm going to fade away quietly and not come back.
Come back, I love you. Oh, well. Please like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and if you're an influencer or YouTuber with clout and you've done something disgusting, despicable, or you're just a fucking idiot, then I'll be the first one there to lick and wash your balls. We'll see you again real soon.
Thank you, Ripoff Verse, for making such incredible content. Jeremy Quarter Pounder. Hello, everybody. Check it out. I got a new iPhone. I got the new one because if you were at my last stream, you may have known that my phone, its screen, it stopped fucking working. Like half of all the button presses wouldn't function. It was quite frustrating. I was planning to hold out, you know, until they make another one of these fucking things because I got it for free through my, through Verizon. But hey, I got one, and I would love to be enjoying myself trolling on X. But you see what it says there? Hold on. Let me bring it up on the main screen here for you. You see what it says there at the top of the screen? My account is locked. My account is locked. Oh no, Apple user. Look. The fact of the matter is that I use this phone for the camera, and the cameras are better on the iPhone, particularly for filming video quickly. I like the way that their zoom function works better. It has a sense of momentum to it that isn't on the Samsung camera wheel. And so it just, the Samsung one doesn't feel right. It also films more flat. I really prefer the cameras in these fucking things, and I film a lot of shit on my iPhone. And I also use it for Twitter, and you know, it's not really fun to be on Twitter where every time you try to click like or repost, it tells you your account is locked for the next 9 hours, for the next 8 hours, motherfucker. How did this happen? I'm going to tell you. It's because this world is unjust and unfair, and people like me got to deal with it day after day. Let's go through my tweets. Let's see how this happened. What was going on? Hopefully I didn't retweet any pornography in the last 24 hours. This is going to be Trixie's Twitter stream, unless somebody pays me to do something else, I guess. Frog Tony says, "Hey Trixie, guess what I just did? I liked a tweet on Twitter. You motherfucking son of! I'm gonna do this to you, just like this. You're gonna come at me with that, and I'm gonna get you in this, and then, bam, just like that. Kudo driver. All right, okay. Where did the memes truly begin? I've been memeing pretty hard. Oh, it was around here. Yeah, I started encountering." When you start having encounters with weird people on Twitter, it like summons other weird people out of the woodwork. And you never know when you're stumbling into it, because sometimes you think you're just having like a fairly, like somebody retweets somebody else and you respond to that person not knowing who they are, only to find that you've dove into like some kind of strange sub community that splinters off into other strange sub communities, and you've just gotten yourself like terribly involved. That's what's happened to me over the last day or two. This isn't surprising. The United States president was shot in the fucking head the other day. So, things have been a little bit chaotic here in internet world. Ooh, I got to pass. Okay, let's go back up past the pornography, and we'll say that's my cutoff point. We won't go any farther down. Free Riley. A lot of people have been drawing some phenomenal art for Riley. Free Riley. Go to freeriley.fund. Free Riley. There's a great story. This tweet thread tells the whole story from WMIGING10. Maybe I'll read this later, but he did an entire thread summarizing everything that led to Riley's arrest and current legal battle with the coward Eric D. July. Wow, his name was fucking not sitting in my head for a second there. Okay, that's because I'm on about other shit tonight. I got so much going on. All right, so I was chaotically posting. I mean, look at this. God damn, she's cute. Whew. Perfect furry. Perfect furry aesthetic, in my opinion. Whew. Holy shit. The only thing cuter than that, Bird's haircut. Fuck. God damn. How am I going to fight bitches away from this? This was before the shave. He's even cuter now. He shaved it. Shaved the beard. Anyway. Oh, that's kind of pornographic. I probably shouldn't show that. Anime made me thick. That's cute. Okay, here we go. Here was somebody I was arguing with. This didn't lead to me getting blocked. This was just funny. But this is what I mean when I say that you talk shit about one thing and then it splinters off through all kinds of weird shit, right? So this guy, Kyle A. Carosa, created a cartoon called Mighty Magiswords. Some of you may remember this from like the 2010s. It's a Cartoon Network show. He's been arrested on charges of child pornography, proving once again that you cannot trust anybody with this facial hair. You don't want to stereotype people based on their facial hair, but I mean, it's like a calling card almost. So this guy has a shitty podcast from like years ago. I don't know if he even still does it, called like Kyle and someone talk cartoons. And it was picked as one of the podcasts to shit on Who Are These Podcasts on the episode that I went on when I went to. So Who Are These Podcasts? A podcast about shitty podcasts. I'm a fan. I went to Carl's house, the guy who runs it, because I lived nearby at the time. And, recorded in studio about this dude's podcast and how much it sucked. And I did like a ton of research on this guy. So I really went in. I was like going all about like just everything this guy's doing wrong, all the reasons he sucks, all the reasons his podcast sucks, like begging him to stop podcasting. It was really bad, really fucking awful podcast. Telling him he needed to stop hanging out with the shitty friends he was hanging out with that he had on his podcast, just all around trying to fix this man's life that I thought was desperate from what I was hearing on his podcast. I didn't realize it was so desperate and bad that he was at a point of being arrested on charges of child pornography. So, I found this out and I was like, what the fuck? This is the guy that we talked about 5 years ago. Koof fan of the Dick Show and Biggest Problem universe, and also of this universe. Big time contributor. Shout out to Koof. Was like, wait, was this the guy on the Pizza Party podcast? No, this was not a guy on the Pizza Party podcast. But then this random dude, the Cinnamon Snob, shows up and says, Nolan, it was a guy named Nolan, was the pedo on Pizza Party. I don't even know if that's a true thing. I've never heard any stories about this Nolan guy. Oh, hey, what's up, Subsonic Sparkle? I remember you ranking on this guy, Lamau. He sounded harmless. I know, right? But I mean, they always do, right? Trixie the Troon brought Pizza Party on WATP, but I don't think Chomo Carosa was the guest on Pizza Party. Then again, maybe. It was millions of years ago when both Dig Troon, Noland, and Pan Cheese Pizza were relevant. God. Like, I don't know if this dude doesn't want people to read what he's saying, but when you write this obnoxiously, it's like, do I have to try to parse all of what you're fucking talking about? Really? I said, you talk retarded, but here's the episode, and I linked it. So, you can go Kyle and Luke talk about tunes, episode 182 of Who Are These Podcasts. I was still called DigiBro at the time. This was pre-transition, 2019. Yeah, December 2019. It really was almost 5 years ago that we shit on this guy's podcast, and apparently he's downward spiraled to the point of getting arrested on child pornography charges. So, of course, this attention-seeking loser decided that because I said he looks retarded, he's got to continue the thread. I'm surprised no quick block because you're hella easily triggered, lol, so at least that masculine side, all of you, by the way, is still running strong. I don't get that. What does he mean? Oh, hey, Bird's here.
Hey, what up?
I'm talking about how I got banned from Twitter for the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
But that really has nothing to do with the Cinnamon Snob, but I'm talking about this thread because it was funny from yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about this at all, or are you just sitting in to say
Came
hello?
to say hi.
Hello. You look beautiful. Show off your fucking face. Show off your face.
It's my face, and it's
You look
not
like you just
covered by
combed your hair.
Wow, I did just comb my
Amazing. Did you just take a shower or something?
No.
Oh. You look nice.
hair. Thanks.
You look fancy.
Fancy. Bird haircut reveal. Twitter saw it first.
That's true. I also showed that tweet just a few minutes
I
ago.
see. Well, la-di-da.
Anyway, Bird, what do you think this guy means in saying that me not quickly blocking him is my masculine side running strong? Does he think blocking is like a feminine activity or something?
I mean, a lot of chuds think that.
Like, there's plenty of women who don't block, and there's plenty of men who block insistently. Doesn't seem like a very gendered habit to me to block or not block. I would think blocking to me has always felt like a violent action. Like, I am not letting you communicate with me anymore. It's like a, knockout punch. It's like, you're done. You're out. You're gone.
I mean, I'll block people that I've never even spoken to before.
To me, the act of not blocking is nurturing. It's, I'm not going to push you away. I'm going to let you keep trying because I think that maybe I can affect the way you are, or like I consider you as a part of my environment and therefore my responsibility. So not blocking is incredibly more feminine than blocking to me. That would be my read on that. So then Siddharth here, who's a friend of the show, says, so what's going on in your life? I'm curious how a person ends up like this. I wish I could like this, but of course I've got 6 hours and I've already spent 6 hours in Twitter jail, just stewing, listening to JPEG Mafia and getting angry. What is this? Denzel Curry, Club Mischievous, No Strings show. Well, I can't go to that. I don't know where it is, but I'm sure I can't attend. How did I right?
Now,
Tried
Sorry
to
to
click
bring
like.
this up on stream again, but Landon's like publicly tweeting, adding Lucario fan, like, hey, how do you feel about Glasses Girl in Library? Karen is her name. Also, shoot me an update on the video. Like, dude.
He's always like that.
So silly. What
So
a
this guy
funny
says,
guy.
bullying nobodies. What's up with you? Does Milady need defending? Lol. Now, this is an interesting tack to me, is when people who no one's ever heard of attack somebody that they have heard of by calling them a nobody. Like, you have to know a certain amount about me to say the things that this guy said. I mean, he implied he had heard the episode. He knew that I had brought Pizza Party Podcast onto the WATP show. That was 6 years ago, because that was my first appearance on WATP. So, like, this dude has known who I am for 6 fucking years.
Probably longer than that.
Maybe has interacted with me before, for all I know, or maybe this is his first time.
Wait, you're telling
But
me
I'm nobody.
there's the possibility that he's interacted with you before and you didn't remember the Cinnamon Snob, a random burner alt account that is stupid in
It's-
name
yeah.
and profile picture and interactions.
Yeah. I mean, I think this could be a funny bit, maybe, if you were a funny person. But anyway, Siddharth says, I'm good. It's been a good day to hear from losers that think they're cool. Nah, she's doing just fine, but I don't know, bro. Have you eaten today? You hungry? A little moody? Is that why you like listening to Digitroon? Lol. What is what like? Is what like? Oh, is hearing from losers that think they're cool why you like listen. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Certainly why I'm sitting
hate
here
when-
listening to you read this guy's tweets.
I hate when people address the first part of something and then not the, like, you know, they skip the rest of it. So it's like lingually, I have to go find what you're responding to, you know? Nobody, I'm talking about you. I know it's hard, but try to keep up. I said, X won't even let me reply to his reply. Yeah, I don't know why. It literally wouldn't let me respond to him.
Apparently, Destiny and Elon Musk were on a Twitter space together, or are on a Twitter space together. It
Oh my God.
says technical issues, so it's
Oh,
possible.
well, we'll see if that.
But I mean, I don't think that they cut the deal. I don't think that his I mean, they cut our.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Really?
like listening to
Who's reporting
Destiny
it?
talk. Okay, stop. I don't wanna hear it.
So I said, I'm out at dinner. Like, oh, what it was, here we go. It wouldn't let me respond to this because the post got limited. He had said, keep up with what? That fucking poor transitioned mongoloid they call Digibro? Lol, I'll say this, you got more balls than him to keep replying, and that's saying something because he's still mad.
Well, so that guy has more balls than you, even though. Well, no, because no, you both have the same amount of balls.
Yes, figure out the balls math real quick.
No,
this guy's doing a lot of balls math.
You have the same amount of balls because neither of you blocked him, and you're both responding.
No, he's saying that. Okay, so what happened here was about 20 minutes passed in which I did not respond. And then he said this because we were like driving from one, like we had been like at a bar and we were driving to like another bar or something. No, we were driving to food. We went from a bar to a pizza place. And in the like 20 minutes of, hanging out, having a drink, driving on over, sitting down, scouring the menu, placing our order, and then having that 10-minute window where you're waiting for your drinks to show up, you pull out Twitter and this guy is saying that I stopped responding. It's been 20 fucking minutes. And this was when I realized that this guy must be incredibly pathetic. Like, this is somebody who lives on the internet, who's expecting everyone else to live on the internet. Like, his expectation is if you don't respond instantly, it means you've completely forgotten about me or you're trying to move on or something. And I'm like, how desperate for attention do you have to be that if you don't get a reply right away, you have to start drumming up drama with other people nearby? Like, oh, Trixie's not giving me more attention. Let me go bully this other person. Let me go find somebody. I got to get my attention somewhere. Like, holy shit, man. Butthole Weeb with $2 says, just read my comment. I'll post down below. Okay, I will. So yeah, because X limited this post's visibility by the time I actually saw it, I could not respond to it. That's why I said it won't let me reply to his reply, but bro, I'm out at dinner. Sidar said, try not to have a life in front of this guy. He'll get offended. In front of Digitroon? Not even trying. Yes, in front of me. No. Oh, you mean, okay, god damn it. Once again, he's reversing what the other person said on the way he communicates is so fucking obnoxious. He's trying to say I'm the he. I can't think of myself as a he, so it's difficult for me to read these when I'm like realizing, oh, he's calling me he, right, of course. Oh no, he can't understand the conversation. I'll sum up. You sound like you're stunted in growth, and I'm truly worried about your life. I'm gonna go now, but you can always learn to converse like a human being, okay? I believe in you. He says, don't worry, I'm not a troon, and I can brush my teeth. I'll be fine. You, on the other hand, have to hid that you simp for a troon, and an ugly one to boot. Lol.
They're not hiding it.
Yeah, nothing's being hidden. I wouldn't even call this simping. It's I mean, this is a person who hangs out on Twitter arguing with people
all day.
So they're not it's not like a defense jumping to my defense thing. It's a hey, look, an idiot I can make fun of thing, you know. Somebody whose time I can occupy and take them away from, you know, whatever else they'd be doing that would be even more obnoxious for someone else. So that led to this the person who actually I got banned for talking to, though, they have now been banned even more completely than I have. So it's hard for me to get to their tweets. But that wasn't even the only thing. I've had like 3 different strange interactions with the randos. Oh, yeah. No, this continued. This continued somewhere else. There was another thread. Yeah, this is where he started saying weird shit. He said, yet you reply, thanks for letting me live in that trooned out head of yours. It's fucking gross in here, like them teeth you got. Coca-Cola is not a mouthwash, lol. I said, you're losing because you're giving me the attention I crave. Hey, I also like attention. Being hated is sexy. It gives me fun stuff to laugh at with my friends. It's not an own to say that I'm giving you attention. I'm getting drunk at a pizza place with my husband. Now I'm doing a live stream with my audience.
Hey,
To laugh at people on the audience.
I'm here.
Also with my husband. And getting funny reactions from my internet homies. So yeah, this is such a weird thing that people do online where it's like they want your attention and then they get your attention and they're like, I win because I got your attention. And I'm like, I'm here to get attention also. It's a mutual victory for both of us. We both got what we wanted. We got attention, you know, like I was willing to keep going forever. This guy, you know, who knows how, I don't know why he disappeared. He stopped. Like he just kind of quit at some point and he hasn't come back. This was all yesterday. But like I could have kept going with this dude eternally. But you know, they always just kind of vaporize these nobodies. They just kind of they're gone at some point. He said something. Man, this is your simp talking shit to you like this, lol. What the fuck is he talking about? I said, this guy is going to hurt a family member tonight. Because that was my read on him. Is like, this guy is going to take all this impotent rage from not being able to win this internet argument. And he's going to go like punch his mom or something. Like he's definitely going to go hurt somebody in his own family because of this anger that he can't let go of. I don't remember what he called a cope, but I said, I don't cope, I seethe. I linked my song Seethe, of course, you know, got to get my music promotion in there. Man can't even understand that we're all making fun of him. It gets better, buddy. It says, I'll never transition, so my family will acknowledge me. My family will be acknowledging me. I don't know what the fuck that means. I said, oh dear, I hope my family acknowledges me someday. You know, I live with my family, of course. I think everybody knows this. Yeah, so then he kept talking about my teeth. I can't find the rest of this. At some point, it got to where he kept bringing up my teeth, and Bird said, why don't you show your teeth? And I just kept saying, pics, bitch, pics, bitch, pics, bitch, every single time he responded to me. And he kept responding for a while. And then eventually, he finally sent a picture, but it was obviously not him. And I know I quote tweeted it and said, is this him? And then, yeah, here we go. He just sent this picture. I said, is this him? Somebody
Crinkle.
said this is Krim. Krim says it's not him.
Oh.
Krimkle says they I don't know how to decode the fucking schizophrenic way that Krimkle talks either, but he says They keep saying I deleted the video because the tweet they think is the original is some cut from some tard and the durations are different, lol, but it's still public and has been since I posted it, lol. So I guess he posted a video of himself and people keep saying that it's this other video is actually him. I have no fucking idea. All I know is it's not the Cinnamon Snob.
Are you sure?
And the Cinnamon Snob has not said anything since this post. So I don't know if he took this as a victory that I didn't immediately know that this wasn't him. I don't know where he got the satisfaction to stop responding on Twitter. But, you know, I guess he did because he disappeared after that. Into the ether like all the other ones. So anyway. Right, I have to read something Landon said, right? Just using your stream with all my friends in this new video I'm excited about to cope a bit. Thank you for streaming. Sorry, was just kind of bummed and just drinking, lol. Lucario is the man, though. Better editor than I'll ever be. Indeed. Okay. Everyone that uses that word troon definitely looks as fetishistic transport on 4chan. Yeah, it's the only way you would know that. Like, it's not used in common parlance. It's not like regular people don't know about that insult. That's like a deep tier 4chan gooner fucking insult. They don't understand the self-owns that are in their own language. So this was a weird one. This one I didn't understand why people were upset with me. All right. Because I liked this comic. I retweeted it. It says, did you see the ex-president got shot at yesterday? Yeah, don't care. Don't care. What if the other guy got shot at instead? Wouldn't care either. They deserve the same amount of indifference as they dish out, honestly. I'm exhausted of all of us not taking school shootings and a genocide seriously, but I have to give a fuck when a millionaire gets shot at. I wrote, billionaire, because it's way worse. A billionaire is way worse than a millionaire. And I did some research into this. There are 22 million millionaires in America, in the United States.
Is that like they have 2 million? So they're millionaires?
No, there are 22 million millionaires.
Millionaires. They're
Yes.
not millionaires.
People with at least $1 million. There are 22 million of them in the U.S. That's a big, it's 6%. 6% of the U.S. population. Pretty significant amount. I know some millionaires. I've met some millionaires. Good people that I've met that have had $1 million and have done good things with the money they've
you
had.
hear that, millionaires? That you're really good people.
No, not
You
all
should-
of them.
you
Not
should
most
give
of them.
us money.
Yeah, well, okay. The good ones should give us
Jesus
money. But I know a millionaire. He's a lazy fuck just like me. Well, get some of that money from him, Gary. Guilt him about his laziness into, well, if you're a lazy fuck, then you don't need any money from him either. Guilt him into giving me money. Tell him there's an amazing investment he can make in this artist whose turnaround over a 10-year period is going to be to the moon. Say some shit like that. And you sell stuff, right? Sell him me as a investment prospect. Anyway, billionaires. There are only 800 billionaires in the United States. Now, $1 billion is $1,000 million. As somebody put it in these tweets, the difference between a billionaire and a millionaire is about $1 billion.
Wow.
Because a millionaire has
Can you,
0.1% of $1 billion. Yeah, that's the math.
Oh.
It's you got a millionaire is nothing compared to a billionaire. Like the power differential is astronomical. And if you were even to get into the category of people with over $500,000, that's like a way. Actually, let's see. How many U.S. citizens have over $500,000? Not annually, goddammit. I want their net worth. This probably isn't an easy to find stat. 200,000 gets down to 14.88 million. So already you've cut it in half between people who have Well, wait, never mind. I'm going in the wrong direction. Point being, there are a lot of millionaires and a lot of people with hundreds of thousands of dollars in the United States. There are not very many billionaires, and the billionaires have tremendously more power than the millionaires. I think it's worth pointing out. The person who made this meme reacted with a laughing meme. Billionaire, actually, millionaires are so last year. I said there's only 2,200 billionaires, worldwide. There's only 2,200 of them. They have enough money and to literally control everything that happens on Earth at all times. Does it fucking matter? Why wouldn't it? I accidentally wrote it's literally 100 times the power. It's actually 1,000 times the power. I undersold it here.
Woman can't do math. Shocker.
Yeah, well.
All right, I'm gonna go away.
Neither should exist, so who gives a crap? This is the one I quote tweeted. Woolumon. Praying all night that the bullet took off the transphobic part of Trump's brain. Where's my quote tweet of this person saying like why it matters, the difference? Yeah, here we go. Anyone who hoards obscene amounts of wealth for themselves are terrible regardless of net worth. I agree. $1 million in America isn't necessarily a ton to have as a net worth at a given time. I said all the same stats I just said basically here, so maybe it wasn't worth going over that one. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a big difference. To me, a millionaire versus a billionaire. Millionaires are not worth worrying about. Like, millionaires are not ruining your life. Millionaires have the potential to maybe help you out. Billionaires are ruining your life. Billionaires are never going to help you out. Like, it's preposterous to think class is determined by ownership of the means of production, not how much money you have. Guess who owns the fucking means of production, Kudere Kun? The fucking 2,200 billionaires. The means of production can only be owned by people with that much money because it takes that much. You only can have that much money by owning means of production. That's how you get that rich. You have to. Bill Gates bought all the fucking chicken farms in America. Like, you have to own the means. Not a lot of people have that much of a controlling stake in everything. Everything going on. The only way you can really don't the 1% richest people own like 2/3 of the riches? I would bet it's the 0.1% of people owning more than half of the riches. I'm telling you, the billionaires really shield themselves behind statistics like 1%, because again, the difference between people who are at one end of 1% and people who are at the other end of that 1% is astronomical. Like, let's see. The top 1% was less than $1 million per year, of course. So, people, the reason there could be 22 million millionaires, but on average, less than 1% of people are it's just, people have acquired wealth, I guess. But the top 1% was making less than $1 million, which, as we've established, is 0.1% of $1 billion. Let's see. What is the top 0.1% of U.S. earners? No, I want top 0.1. God damn it. They don't want me to know this. I'm telling you. The 1% is just not, I don't care about the 1%. The 1% is a huge number of people. 1% of 300,000, 300 million, I mean, is 3 million, right? So that's 3 million people I'm supposed to be mad at. There's not 3 million people that have a meaningful effect on my life. Most of those fucking people are just trying to keep their stupid house they don't need in some stupid place nobody needs to live. The billionaires could make millionaires out of everyone else in the country. You could literally tax the billionaires. Like if you put a tax on anybody who made, let's say, more than $500,000, that they had to give everything above that amount away, you know, and then you redistributed that, you could literally make millionaires out of everyone in America off of just skimming off the unnecessary top for billionaires, like money they don't need. You could just skim that off and make millionaires out of the whole rest of the country. Obviously that's never going to happen. So billionaires are the only people with the power to murder me and make it look like I did it. So I can only talk so much shit before I count on myself getting absolutely killed by billionaires. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Political stuff. Hey, check it out. This guy made the fucking Nazca glider. Isn't that neat? Yeah, Amy was saying a million seconds is 11.6 days. A billion seconds is 31.7 years. There's quite a huge difference. Apparently, there have been specific moments in history where 1% of the population owned just as much richness as the other 99% in specific countries. I still think that's a case in a lot of countries. Landon, you're saying I missed half of what you wanted me to read up there? What was the other half? I got past better editor than I'll ever be. Read more above. I read all of it. I read that whole thing, Landon. I'm not seeing a part. I talked about me being bummed. Family member got diagnosed with cancer today. Well, damn. Fucking prayers for Landon's family. That's shit. Cancer sucks. I recommend telling them that they're going to live all the time. It seemed to work for my mom. Carrie always for 2 hours says Landon wants you to read all of his chats, please. I did. I did. But anyway, yeah, I'm bummed butthole weed tonight, but I'm excited for new video. Hell yeah. Everybody better watch the new Landonime video when it comes out. God damn it. God damn it. Enough of this fucking nonsense. Oops, I didn't mean to click back. So I saw this, and my first thought was, oh, cute girl. And then I saw Make America Great Again, and I went, oh no, what the fuck? What kind of goth is MAGA? What the hell is, what fucking strange breed of creature is this? I said, it's rare for a cute schizo chick to be more politically repugnant than I can find attractive. I clicked through to find out who the fuck is this chick. I guess she works for Tim Pool. She's like Tim Pool's busboy. So yeah, gross. Oh, I tweeted a cool aphorism. Replication is easy. Duplication is impossible. Just a little truism for you. Cool JREG video. Maybe we'll watch that later. Everybody who wants me to get more into philosophy should just subscribe to JREG. 'cause I don't care about philosophy. Although apparently he doesn't like reading either. So, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, this is how it started. Okay, so this guy called Ted Kemper Chud, he responded to this by saying that, what's her name? Mary. He said, Mary would have you gassed, and I would too. And I was like, whoa, gassed. And so I said, this guy wants to fart on me while I tongue punch his asshole. Gross. And then he said something like, of course you would make it sexual, you gross, whatever. You have 6 months. He said, you have 6 months. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So I said, until what? You can find out where I live in seconds. If you're going to do something, turn up today, bitch. I ain't afraid to know. Last 2 people who came to my house, first one ran off and the second one got his ass beat. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a good idea for these dumb little internet trolls, these scrawny little fucking bitch-made cowards who compare themselves to me, realize they are somehow less masculine than a trans woman, and then think they're going to bully me about it. Like, sorry. Some of us are just tomboys, you know? He said something about grinding me up to grease the wheels of the train of revolution or something. I said he's going to grind me bones to make his bread, y'all. He's Shrek. Oh, yeah, here we go. This was the person who said neither should exist. So who gives a crap about millionaires and billionaires? I said you could tax the 800 billionaires hard enough to make millionaires out of the rest of the U.S. in years. Just saying. Then this guy started throwing out all these weird slurs for like old-timey, like 20s slurs and shit. I said I had to look up what this dude's slurs even mean. Somehow I'm not allowed to say cis, but this faggot is allowed to throw around racism at other users. Elon Musk, great job, dipshit. I censored the word dipshit along with cis and faggot because both of those I'm not allowed to say or my tweets get taken down, regardless of myself being a faggot or cis not being a fucking... It's not an insult. It's not a fucking slur. I don't understand how Elon Musk thinks cis is a slur. It literally just describes not being transgender. How is he saying that not being transgender is like an insult? If so, I guess maybe I agree. Maybe cis is a slur. I don't know what his intention is. Okay. Guy who says Troon's making threats as if he won't instantly melt upon contact with sunlight. So here's where the tweet I got suspended for would have been. There's a tweet in here that no longer exists because I had to remove it to get access to Twitter back. He said some kind of racist thing in response to this, and then I quote tweeted that and said, I hope white people die. That's the tweet I had to remove. That's the tweet that has made it so I can no longer post for 12 hours. Now, I don't really know why I'm not allowed to say this. It's not an incitement of violence. It's like a wish. It's it's a hope, literally a hope. I hope white people die. I didn't even say like all white people or any specific white people. Honestly, I thought it was funny because it makes it sound like I'm saying like just some random sprinkling of white people, you know, like, hey, I hope some white people die, you know? Maybe like 40 or so white people clustered together in some like strange Mormon Utah encampment, you know, like maybe just like some odd like what's the word I'm looking for where they fuck their family members? Incestuous cabal, you know, maybe like a poison gas leak could happen there and they all die, and I'd be like, yeah, that was cool, you know. Some shitty white people died, awesome, you know. That's the tone of it to me. I don't see how that's something I'm not allowed to say on Twitter. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, there's white people and white people. Thank you, Aspie Pilled. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So I responded, I'm not white, I'm sunburnt. That's been my thing lately, you know. When I was a kid, I read a book that had a profound effect on me called Maniac McGee, about this kid who his parents die in like an accident. He kind of has like a Harry Potter upbringing where he goes to his aunt and uncle, but the aunt and uncle, they're like fighting all the time, and they've split everything in their house in two. They've literally demarked a line across the house like a cartoon, and they have like two of everything. And he gets tired of living there, so he just runs, and he runs like across several states, and he comes to some random town, and the town, much like his, step parents' house, is all divided, but it's on race lines. It's the white people and the black people. And he hears people talk about white and black all the time, but him not having experience with this type of colorism is like, well, I don't, like, where is the line here? Because I see I see cream colored people. I see chocolate people. I see, oat milk colored people. He goes like a list of different, I don't know why all I can think is fucking food, but he goes down a list of like different types of, skin colors. And I remember as a kid reading that and being like, yeah, like, I don't know. I couldn't tell what like race anybody was just based on, you still can't really, there's a lot of different races of different colors, different shades and stuff. And when they know each other, they tend to demark themselves by it, like within a community, people break themselves up by race. But as an outsider, you walk in and you can't really tell why or how everybody's deciding to be in their cliques. It's just something that they kind of got raised into, So that's why I've been saying, like, to me, to call yourself white, like to say I'm white, like there's no reason to say that. Identity is totally conceptual. Like you can say, there are some people who say I'm black, some people say I'm brown, some people don't like to be called black because literally very few people are like even approaching like that dark of to be called black, dark brown, like there's just a lot of people who they want like a specific thing that reflects how they feel about their identity. Personally, I would like to escape whiteness. I know it sounds cringe to say, and maybe there is no escape. Maybe there's nothing I can do, but I don't want to be white. White people are terrible. White people did all the worst things. White people within my own lineage did terrible things, and they did nothing for me. I didn't get nothing from all that white heritage. Like I look at that and I'm like, man, y'all just did a bunch of terrible shit. Fucked things up for everybody else, lost everything you had because you're terrible people. And you expect like future generations to look at all this and go like, oh, just because of the pigment of my skin, I'm going to side with white people and white history. No, fuck white people. Y'all fucked it up. Y'all did a terrible job. Like I'm looking at everything going on outside of the white world in the US, and it's all better, particularly in the United States. Every culture that's not white, God, you ever go to a white town and eat food, you'll be so fucking disappointed. Where was it we went recently where it was like we were somewhere where we went to what would have been considered like the best food in town, and like everything was cooked really well, but it was like a white people. It was in that this like Amish market in fucking on the border of Maryland and Pennsylvania, an incredibly white place. And there were non-white people there, but there was an overwhelming majority. It was probably like 85% white people at this very bustling fresh market. And like all the food they had was made perfectly to its intention, but it was all very bland. Like nothing had a lot of flavor in it, and it was kind of like, wow, the stereotypes about white people are real. Like you go to a place, like even the people who are doing their very best, this is white culture. It sucks. White culture sucks. It's the only reason you would hold on to this is that you're not willing to embrace outside cultural influence. Like nobody wants their food to be this fucking bland, but they're afraid of like the change of tasting something different, but like the only way food tastes good, I'm just saying, having good taste means having broad taste. being able to appreciate what's good culturally and being able to create good culture requires you to go beyond thinking that good culture comes from people who look like you, or who I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just hate white people. I hate people that self-identify as white. I've never met somebody who would like call themselves a white person that was trustworthy. Anyway, so he started calling me an N-word lover with a hard R. I said, someone explain why he can post these words and still be here. The answer apparently is he can't. It took a lot of reporting from a lot of people to get everybody who was watching this thread was DMing me like, I reported that guy. I don't know how he's still, why he's just said the N-word like 15 times. It was wild. It was wild. Is it because I grew up surrounded by black people in school? Not really, because I didn't really. I moved all the time growing up. So I was used to I've always been used to all kinds of different people being around. Like I had times I went to very white schools. I had times I went to very black schools. I had times I went to very mixed schools, mostly very mixed schools being from around here. But like, even within those schools, there was usually a lot of racial division. Like, at the black school, it was really hard for me to make friends, even when I was actively trying, because people didn't want the reputation of being around me, At the like mixed schools, it was very much like black kids hung out in one area, white kids kind of hung out in the other area. And then I had like the group of autists of all different races, but like all the autists who bounced off of the other groups, that was my collection. So like, ultimately my set is not determined by race. It's determined by neurodivergence. And neurodivergence does not have a race. It's just when you look at this and you're just like, I can't stop staring at this. Like, I can't pull my eyes away. Like, it's terminated my train of thought. It's eradicated my ability to consider other things. I am so invested, interested, emotionally damaged by this image right now. This is how I know my people. When you're having this kind of reaction to this image, then you're like categorically able to communicate with me, and it has nothing to do with race. So anyway, I'm sunburnt, and I'm also a cat person. So meow that mix. This person said, this was a weird one. They said something like, when you're a star, they let you say the N-word, but it was, he typed out the actual word. I said, when you're saying you don't type out, and I left it blank so you could then read how I'm parodying him and what word he used. Then he posted a Joker quote, like a literal Joker quote from The Dark Knight. What doesn't kill you makes you stranger, out of nowhere. Apropos of literally nothing. I said, I guess when I said when you're sane, and so he thinks, oh, I'm insane. I'm like the Joker. What doesn't kill you makes you strange. I was like, wow, how can you be stuck on the dark? That movie's from 2008, my dude. How old is this guy that is still internet trolling and basing his identity off of the 2008 Joker? Holy fuck. I'm the Joker, baby. Then this person came in here, and this was what I was most upset about getting banned, because I was in the middle of responding to this fool. In response to me saying, I'm not white, I'm sunburnt, they said, if you said that to most black people, they would punch you, which is tremendously racist. And if you don't understand why, my response, hey, most black people, would you punch me if I said I wasn't white? Like, first of all, implying that black people are implicitly violent, that they're just going to punch you in the face over words, which almost none are. And second of all, trying to speak on behalf of most black people. I don't even know what race this person is, going by their avatar, pale as fuck. So I was like, what the fuck? Does this person realize that they're being tremendously racist right now? Like, what the fuck is this response? And then their response to this is what I was about to reply to. if you went in public to a group of random black people and told them you're sunburnt, I guarantee they will punch you. I was about to quote tweet this and say, if you walk up to any random group of people of any race and you say anything, I hope you get jumped. I really hope so. What? And then I was going to type, go the fuck outside. And as I hit post on that, I got, well, let me show you what happens if I try to post. I got this. Can you imagine walking up to a group of people in the street and then like making any kind of comment at all, like trying to crack some kind of joke or like win some kind of argument or something, or like what? You know, like funny how this Twitter ban incident apparently brought a little more attention to the live stream. It usually does. I mean, if I let you know that there's some kind of drama or something going on with me, more people will turn up. Yeah, this was annoying, particularly that I didn't get to respond to this fool, because people really say people have it in their mind that like if you're not allowed to say a word in front of a group of people without getting beaten up, then that means like you don't have free speech. And it's like, dude, if you come up to any group of people hanging out in public and try to start a problem with them, yeah, you should be beat up because you're an idiot and you need to understand social consequences. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you walk up to people you don't know? If you're not like doing at least like a camera bit or something, but even then targeting a group, that's insane. You know, like people group up to create a sense of security so that they can, you know, move as a unit and feel safer, either for self-protection so that people won't come up to them. Well, actually, no, it's just that. It's to people hang out in groups so people won't come up to them unless they're a part of the group. That is the point of being in a group, is to prevent being approached. I really think these people don't leave their houses. They don't know what the world is like. They don't know anything about shit. They don't know fuck for shit. And then I got a bunch of cool responses from people talking about how much they like JREG, but I got blocked, so I can't respond to any of this. Should I do a collab with JREG? I don't know. I don't know how. This is a weird one. This lady wants to be on the list of black people you shouldn't trust, apparently. My mahogany Afro-American minority conservative activist. Don't waste your time with me. Got banned from the black community. My voice is unimportant. Carry on. Okay, and you want to be on the list of black people you shouldn't trust, which includes Officer Tatum, Jesse Lee Peterson, Tommy Sotomayor, Black Conservative, Stevie Knight, Jeff Mead, the Hodge twins, Thomas Sowell. Well, Thomas Sowell, he's like that finances guy. I know he wrote a lot of good books or something, but you know, I don't trust any black conservatives because I don't trust any conservatives, just like I don't trust any liberals, and I don't trust anybody who's politically affiliated. I don't trust anybody who's registered to vote. Anyway, yeah, these two kept arguing, but I wasn't here anymore. I've been blocked for all this. Lydia wants to know if I'm genuinely okay. I can't even tell her that I'm genuinely okay. What is this about? I can't tell what's going on in this meme. Oh yeah, this was a funny interaction. This guy like tried to like threaten Lydia and say that she doesn't pass, but like the picture he used was like some other woman that she had tweeted a picture of that has like nothing, like obviously not the same person who was in the avatar. And so she was just like, what the fuck, you know, like how can you be this stupid? Oh man. Well, eventually he got blocked. I can't even imagine the energy of being a pick-me for finding yourself in the list of untrustworthy black people and then following me who described that list as such. Strange character, that one. See if she says anything to me in the future, I guess. All right, well, why don't I trust affiliated folk? Shouldn't we engage with established institutions? Why? To what end? Like, what are you going to accomplish? No, don't. Create new institutions that will supplant the old ones when nobody's participating in them anymore. Like, the overwhelming majority of people who do currently vote will be dead in the next 10 to 20 years. Are like other people going to pick up the slack? Are like Gen Xers suddenly going to start voting more because they're old? Or was that like a cultural artifact of a time and place and a people who thought that elections could mean something? Like, we just know it's not true. We know the current electoral system just doesn't work. Why keep doing it? Why play into it? Why act like we're making a difference participating in something we know doesn't make a difference? Like, just stop doing it. Just, my mom literally like runs the polls. Like, she's a volunteer poll runner. She said of the GOP primary voting in Virginia, it wasn't worth what they paid the staff to do it. She was like, so few people out of like, it was something like 1,500 people who in like the region who could have showed up who were registered Republicans, and like less than 70 people came out to vote in the primary. And she was like, based on how much we were all paid, this was not worth the money to even have this, you know. That's a primary. I'm not going to vote come November. Absolutely not. I have not registered to vote. I never will. I don't. I have to make my voting is racist t-shirts. It's the only way we're really going to be able to have this conversation. Creating the mentality that your only choice in life to have a difference is to vote between two old white guys about who's going to preside for the next 4 years. It's meaningless. It's less than meaningless. It will change nothing. These people, the president he's fucking not awake. The guy can't even hold his eyes open to read a teleprompter. He's not doing anything. The last two presidents have not done shit. People have put things in front of them and fucking moved their hand across a paper for them because their fucking wrist is locked up from inability to function, you know? Like, it's not going to do anything for you. Worrying about the vote will do nothing for you. There's so many more things you can do. This is going to get me killed. My opinions on this will get me killed, but maybe I can sponsor something. Diet Coke. Diet Coke, you want to go anti-vote with me? I like Diet Coke. Diet Coke, let's go anti-vote together. Let's go anti-vote Diet Coke. I want an anti-vote Diet Coke can. Do I have a better alternative? Befriend people. Befriend people. Be friendly. Resist arrest. Yeah, they were going to grease the wheels of progress with me or something. Yeah, exactly, Gary. I hate federal level voting, but I feel obligated to vote because the red team wants to cut back on my medical coverage. I'm a big advocate for local level voting, though. I'm a lot more fine with the local level stuff. I think that actually could affect you. I think so few people are voting in those elections that every vote actually does probably count. If you can go around convincing people like to vote in local elections and not the presidential one, like you do it as a trade, like, hey, I know you think that both of these matter, but actually this one doesn't and this one might. So all that energy you're taking towards the presidential vote, forget about that. Take all that energy and put it into your local vote, you know? But yeah, the presidential election is just less than worthless, but it's the only one anyone fucking cares about. It gets all the attention, like, and people think it has like a trickle down effect where it's going to be like, well, you pick the president, you see, and then that's going to mean it's going to be a tide where everybody goes to the other side, and it's like, guess what's going to happen when inevitably the other side takes back over? It's all going to shift back that way. It's almost like you're not accomplishing anything and going back in circles like a wash cycle, you know. It's all a wash is what I'm trying to say. But I think the government is just everyone. Like, the government exists insofar as everybody allows it to exist and it perpetuates itself. It only exists insofar as people are participant with it, and people kind of take the overall existence of a government for granted. So they feel a need to participate, but there's a level on which people don't want to participate in something they don't believe in. And the Overton window may move a bit in one direction or the other, but if it alienates too many people on the other end, you can't have a working relationship between everyone in the country and get shit done, you know? And ultimately, I think the desire to get shit done usually wins out on like a local level. Like on an idealistic level, the desire to get shit done never wins. This is why the internet is so fucking worthless. Why all the arguments about this politics in particular on the internet are so worthless, because they're all coming at it from the angle of political philosophy. They're all like idealistic, and it's all like lofty, high-minded. Well, here's what should really be happening. And it's like, yeah, but that is intangible to the moment to moment, like actual, what am I fucking doing? What am I going around doing? You know? But if you're paying attention to little things, for me, a big one is like what do you buy? What are you spending your money on? If you buy all your products from like major corporations, you're fucking yourself on like 5 different levels. And I'm doing it. You're doing it. Probably. We're all doing it. I try to get stuff sometimes on like a more local level, particularly when it comes to like going to get like alcohol or food. You know, I go to local restaurants, local breweries, like try to keep the money in the place I live so that the taxes are being spent in the place I live so that it's going towards bettering the place I live. Whereas when you're buying like Diet Coke, I don't know, like fucking where is that money going? It's disappearing somewhere into the ether to somewhere that's going to fuck you somewhere along the line. Like somehow you're paying for your own demise when you're buying stuff from like these mega corporations that have every incentive to fuck you. Local stuff has every incentive to make your life better. Local stuff has every incentive to be nice to you because they have to see you every fucking day. You know, local places have to, like, if you stay within your community and within people who, this is why I've stopped blocking people. All right. Is because I want to treat the internet like more like real life, where if you block people, they don't go anywhere. They don't disappear. They don't just like stop seeing your posts. You know, they're just going to make an alt and keep looking at it, but they're going to do it in a way that you're not acknowledging anymore. And you can't interface with it and you can't really control your community. Whereas if you can take these people and publicly shame them and make it known to, you know, everyone around that this person is a problem, they are naturally pushed out. They don't feel they have another avenue because they know that they have no place here because everyone's telling them to get out. because everybody will grab them at once and place them out. But that takes that level of community that like everyone in the establishment knows the rules of the establishment, and we're all equally care about keeping it nice. And most places on the internet, people just don't care about keeping it nice like that. They're not thinking about it like there's trash in the yard that we could clean up, but like that's how I feel when somebody comes in and says some shit. It's like, oh, this is like if you came to my brewery, drank your cup, your plastic cup, and just tossed it on the ground, or worse, like took your glass and just shattered it. And we're like, dumbass place, and then expected us not to like kick you out, oh, I can't believe I got kicked out for this shit. All I did was break a glass. It's a bar. Isn't this a place to be rowdy? Like, no, not like that. It's not a place to get hurt. It's not a place to fucking cause collateral damage. It's not a place to cost money to the people who run it, to create more cost than the actual what you've paid for, your beverage. This is what I'm saying. This is why you got to police your online communities like they are literal physical spaces. I'm tempted to be like, you know what? Maybe we should move this whole operation into Fortnite. We need the Sword Art Online technology, really. We all need to be in VR. We got to create like what are those PlayStation VR games? All right, so if this channel makes enough money, what we'll do is I'll buy everybody who watches this channel VR headsets, and then we can all do the show in chat VR together. Anyway, let me turn the light on. Oh, no. I just plugged my headphone. Okay, I've gotten over my rage at Twitter. If anybody has anything they want me to watch, shoot me a super chat. $1 a minute. I'll watch anything. Otherwise, I'm chilling. Had an amazing shepherd's pie today. Couldn't tweet about that either. Big shame. Couldn't tweet about the new JPEG Mafia singles. What did I say about these? I tweeted about them, or I posted about. I can't even fucking talk about things I said without framing them as tweets. I'm too Twitter brained. Normally I do my hip hop posts on Twitter, but since I can't, the new JPEG Mafia sounds like Ye asked him if he likes house music. Also, when he said Baby Mama is a rap snack, I dropped a Tyler the Creator lumberjack style. Yo, what the fuck? Okay, that was my JPEG Mafia takes. Cobalt Knight with $5 says, judge appointments do affect everyone. Unfortunately, voting affects who has a lifetime appointment. Judge appointments. You mean appointing judge. You mean the ability of a president to appoint a judge. Sure, I guess. I just don't think that I don't think that those people, what am I trying to say? If that's the only thing you're worried about, I guess you could go ahead and vote to prevent the guy who you think is going to approve more conservative judges. When it comes to the law, ideally, the law only functions as long as it reflects the will of the people. And I think that the ability to pass unjust laws is only upheld by the ignorance of the people or the willingness of the people to justify those laws. Like people thinking that stuff's okay, right? So like all the anti-transgender laws that are currently exist in the US, those laws can pass because in the places that those laws pass, there's not enough people who think correctly about the subject. So to my mind, more important than getting the right president in, who's going to get the right judge in, who's going to make the right decision, you got to change the mind of the people who live in that place so that they won't let, those laws emerge where they live. That they wouldn't want that nobody would be proposing that because it would be unpopular. It would not it would not make their constituency happy. You know, ultimately, our goal is to change the minds of everybody individually, not from a top down perspective, but a bottom up perspective. Each person needs to, you know, see what they're doing wrong and change their approach. Thank you for the skirt compliments. I like this one a lot. It's all deathy and shit. Okay. Well, hold on. It's kind of fucked up in the back. I've got this clamp to make it. It's way too big for me, so, you know, the clamp to keep it tight. Wait till you see what happens in 2030. What do you think is going to happen? Error oboe? 2030 is 6 fucking years away. You can't predict what's going to happen in 2030. We could all be dead by then. There could be fucking Corona 12. No, it was already 19. Corona 90 or something. I don't know what Corona we're on. Justice said $2. What are your thoughts on open relationships? Fucking good luck. History repeats itself. What do you mean, Error Oboe? No shit, history repeats itself. Which part of history is in 2030? Do you know how much history you could be talking about? You could be talking about the extinction of the fucking dinosaurs right now. What history repeats itself? I hate when people are cryptic and like, wait till you see what happens in 2030. You're not a comic book. Fucking explain yourself. Lamau, you'll see. Yeah, I will. You probably won't. You're not going to make it that far with this level of intelligence, dude. Fucking what do you think is going to happen? Are you afraid that I'll foil your plans if I know? Coward. Coward. Yeah, we promise not to ban you. We just not for this anyways. If you know, announce what are your intentions? Error Oboe for 2030. I want to know. It's 6 years away. It takes an alarming amount of clairvoyance to predict 2030. How long till Mr. Beast can be president? 9 years. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Mr. Beast run. What? No, not Mr. Beat. God damn it. Mr. Beast. 26. Okay, yeah. He's got 9 years. 9 years. That's my prediction for 9 years from now. I'm jumping even more clairvoyantly into the future. We're 9 years from a Mr. Beast presidency. I'm calling it here. I literally think he can become president the moment he turns old enough. I guess it'll have to be 3 more years. So he'll be 38. There's a new Snob video about me. I don't fucking care. Somebody can pay me to watch that and I'll watch. His videos suck. They're boring. They're not interesting. So I'm only going to watch his videos if I get paid to do it. I don't care enough. Snob doesn't bring views. I thought rekindling my beef with Snob would draw people back to the channel. Nobody gave a shit. People were just surprised he's still around. You know, I need beefs that bring the views. People love the clips of me talking about Lily Orchard. They love the clips of me talking about James Somerton. They want me to target problem gays. They want me a problem gay. I'm like the, you know, in Psychopaths, how you got the guys that they're like somewhat crazy, but they're, you know, like the main guy. They're somewhat crazy, but they can also work to catch the even crazier people. That's me. I'm one of these dudes. You know, you send me in because you're like, hey, you're like a vaguely rational problem queer. Can you deal with the like irrational problem queers? And I'm like, you got it. Because I understand what they're thinking. But I've pulled myself back from the void that they have allowed themselves to be swallowed with. We need Chris Tyson as VP. I think she's called Ava Tyson now. Yeah, Ava Chris Tyson. She's adorable. Make her dog the vice president. That's a fucking VP face if I've ever seen one. When are we getting a dog VP? We need to restore the VP to the level of power it used to have before Dick Cheney fucked everything up. Mr. Beast would auto win the election. Got it. I mean, he's been saying he's going to do it. He seems to think he has to wait even longer than he does. But, I mean, his position is pretty unassailable. Also, apparently, if Elon Musk dies under mysterious circumstances, Mr. Beast will get Twitter. So let's fucking cross our fingers. He's already calling himself ex-super official CEO. So I think he's counting on it. And he just had his biggest video ever and crossed 300 million subscribers. This guy, here we go. If we lower the age for president, to run for president, I'll jump in the race. If I was president, I wouldn't care about party lines. I'd just always truly make the American people my number one priority. For problems I'm ignorant in, I'd have experts from the left and right advise me on them and try to find the middle ground that's best for America. Wouldn't be viable. Don't care about doing things just because my party says I should. And I would focus on uniting the country instead of dividing it. Anyways, we can pick this up in 15 years when I'm old enough to run. Haha, it's actually only 9 years away. My dog. You got this, Mr. Beast. You got this. Nah, he should not run for local office. He should just go straight for president. Like Trump. Trump didn't run for no local office. Mr. Beast is too... He would be too distracting as anything other than president. I mean, obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger would have been president if he could have. The fact that he was not born in the U.S. is the only reason we did not have an Arnold Schwarzenegger president. But that would have happened, unquestionably. Ronald Reagan was already an actor. Trump is already a retard. There's no reason to think Mr. Beast couldn't make it in. Oh, Mr. Beast is a populist. No wonder liberals actually hate him. Yeah, exactly. Fucking. Yeah, he's just like an actually good guy. That's why Vito can't stand him, because Vito's constantly like, you can't just be an actually good guy for money. It's like, why? It's way better than being a piece of shit for money. Why the fuck would you be mad at him for being a good person for money? I'm very confused about the complaints about Mr. Beast on that end. If Mr. Beast is so cool, why is there no Mr. Beast 2? In my mind, he kind of is Mr. Beast 2 because I first knew Mr. Beast as a Mogwai album. You know, they had this album from back in 2006. Real solid album. I listened to it a lot back at the time. You know, Auto Rock, pretty decent song. Glasgow Mega Snake is great. Acid Food, classic chill song. Travel is Dangerous. That was the one that got me into the album, you know. All these songs are pretty good. This one got the guy from Envy on it. You know, this is Mr. Beast to me. I don't know if there's any connection between this Mr. Beast and the Mr. Beast. It doesn't seem like he's ever said as much, because it would definitely be in the Wikipedia article. But how much for an album topster? What do you mean by that, Gary? Like because I already have a favorite albums one, if that's what you mean. I have my top 49. Oh, to review yours. $5. $5. I'll review your topster. I'm gonna go take a piss though. And in the meantime, have a drink. I'll grab something to eat. I didn't expect to get hungry because I ate a big amount of shepherd pie. Maybe I'll have some more shepherd pie. Or maybe I'll have a snack, like a cracker. Some sort of cracker snack. Eating crackers for breakfast. And I'm not talking about the food. Except when I eat the rich. What is this? Clock Tower? I don't remember who the gaming muse is. Is this somebody y'all told me to follow? Oh, I would play this JPEG Mafia video, but I'll probably get copyright struck for it. It's really good. I already watched this regular car review, so I'll play this.
2004 Volvo V70. Looks like someone got separated from the rest of the funeral procession. All right, whose aunt does this belong to? Somebody needs to come and get her. All right, kids, I'll be ready for church just as soon as I change my stockings because bodies were created by God, but bare legs are the work of the devil. Look at me in my sensible shoes and modest dinner portions. My intestinal walls have the structural integrity of a man-witch. I only send texts when we get separated in the department store, and then I call when you take longer than 15 seconds to respond. Oh, look, here come the rest of your 7 cousins pouring out of the Volvo. Can't you just feel your nurples getting purpled already?
Hi, it's Brian. The giveaway for the BMW Z3M Roadster ends next Wednesday. So click on the link in the description or go to go.getentertowin.com/regularcars. Buy a mug or a digital download. This is the second to last giveaway in an unknown time. We got one more giveaway after this, but this is the second to last one. So if you want the opportunity to win a convertible Roadster, bone stock too, except for the box said 10 horsepower air intake, then click on the link in the description, buy a mug or digital download, and thank you for supporting regular car reviews. Someone's going home with this car next Wednesday.
Okay, so this is ostensibly a family car, and arguably for young families, because it's eminently affordable with interior space and fuel economy that begs to be taken on a road trip. The Volvo V70 is supposed to be a car that justifies why this Swedish automaker survived while the cooler one didn't. It should be a slam dunk, but this is like driving a stomach ache. And okay, these aren't made to be fun, they're made to last, and under normal circumstances, that's all that would matter about this V70. It would get a good grade on that alone. But at what point does a poor driving experience create diminishing returns on a car's practicality? Can a good daily truly be a good daily when driving it has you looking up bus schedules? Well, I'm the Roman. This is Race to the Bottom, and for my birthday, we drive a 2004 Volvo V70, which is certainly a car, I'll give it that. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me. This is working my last nerve and I'd rather drive something else. 2004 Volvo V70. Remember when you couldn't get Gmail without a referral? This car is like an afternoon spent trying on pants. I'm burning daylight here trying to find a pair of slacks to wear to Dad's corporate picnic when there's no other kids my age and everybody manning a grill is doing it for the first time. The engine here is a 2.4-liter 5-cylinder, making somewhere in the ballpark of 138 horsepower and 160 pound-feet of torque from factory, and I'd honestly be shocked if it's making anything close to that now. While it's regarded by some as one of the sturdiest engines of its day, this never feels like it was made for performance, really. Just the unglamorous business of operation, and that's okay. For that, it deserves at least some credit. But even as someone who doesn't make a point of wanting to go fast all the time, this was rough. It doesn't help that this engine is matched to the most sluggish 5-speed automatic this side of a Smart 4.2 trying to rev match in a giant vat of butterscotch. And you know, I'm wondering if it's just an issue with Volvo's P2 platform, which, depending on your side of the argument, is either an underrated gem of a platform that is mistakenly misnomered as a Ford when Volvo actually designed the platform years before the Ford acquisition, or it's a poorly made bucket of bolts and mounts in steep decline that has neither the durability of the P1 nor the sophistication of the P3. And from what I have experienced, I feel like I'm likelier to align myself with the naysayers, unfortunately, if for no other reason than that there was effort in every act of operation. This steering is so heavy for no reason. My old Kia Rio with no power steering was more enjoyable to drive than this. And I'm here like some kind of a jerk just mashing a pedal that gives me nothing. Oh, you'll get up to the speeds you need eventually, but you're gonna do it on Volvo's time. Yeah, this is a 20-year-old car, but this feels significantly older. Significantly older. If you'd have told me this was a competitor with the Cutlass Sierra, I would have believed you. The Volvo V70 is a car that exists to collect stickers like a refrigerator and hold groceries like a refrigerator and requires special parts to fix when it's more sensible to just replace it entirely like a refrigerator. What can I say about the Volvo V70 that hasn't already been said about the Maytag left out on the first Friday of the month for bulk pickup? Driving this delivers all the visceral excitement of reading the terms and conditions all the way through. This car feels old, but not in a way that implies experience or refinement. It's just, it feels lazy. Like, we gave you good fuel economy, we gave you plenty of room. I thought this was what you wanted. What else are you expecting us to do here? I don't know, Volvo. More than this. More than the bare minimum. You know, this car is like a guy who gets married and then announces he's officially retired from doing oral when he was never even good at it anyway. Like, we're not hanging up number 23 here, Jason. You're not going to just be congratulated for doing the bare minimum. And I could forgive this all in the name of a better interior, but these needlessly light, flimsy doors open up to seats that were so stiff that Drew, our wonderful volunteer, had to use conditioner to massage them into some kind of sittable texture. All this to experience an engine and transmission combination as robust as the music of the Captain and Tennille, the high fructose corn syrup of the pop charts. And like high fructose corn syrup, the Volvo V70's value is largely in its role as a replacement for something better, if you can say that an excess of sugar is a good thing. But you see, the thing is, I keep reading that the Volvo 5-cylinder is supposed to be this amazing power plant, that it's supposed to be incredibly durable and versatile, and like not even the turbo, they're just talking about the bog standard 5-cylinder. And I honestly feel like I'm going crazy here. Am I really so out of touch that I can't find anything worth applauding here other than, say, this second generation having nearly 4 inches over its predecessor's wheelbase and 2.5 extra?
I love how, like, actually distraught he looks about having to drive this thing. Like, he looks legit, like, pissed off and kind of miserable at this car. I saw this dude and the main dude who was riding in the back there in this shot. This is the main guy of this channel. The two of them were at Too Many Games because they did a regular car show where they had like a whole lot and they brought in a bunch of obscure regular cars. It was fun. I have a bunch of footage on it that I have yet to do anything with. This guy asked for everyone to send footage to him, an email that's also at the end of this video, but I had not remembered it at the time, and I hadn't seen that. I've known about this channel forever, but only recently got interested enough in cars to know what the fuck they are talking about, even like a little bit. But it's a great fucking channel. They can write their ass off. Like you said, it is arousing how good they are at being mean. Also, legendary gay furries. This guy, Regular Car Reviews, probably, besides YMS, maybe the most famous gay furry out there. They had this amazing trans girl, very hot, who is like a fucking... What was it? Was it Lamborghini, or she was like a maintenancer for one of those incredibly expensive sport car brands. I can't even remember, so far out of my league. And the two of them were being hilarious during their panel. But a lot of it went way over my head. They were really geeking out about cars in a way that made me go, I got to learn how to like build a car or something before I'm going to know exactly what the fuck these car people are talking about. But yeah, it's a great show.
Through this car feels old.
This guy's writing is a lot more direct, whereas the main dude, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know this channel, so I'm not going to act like I'm introducing you, putting you onto the million sub channel here. But for those of you who don't know them,
with its 202,000. The Honda S2000 fears no other drop-top roadster. With its 250 horsepower force.
You know, I don't know if they're both furries, but the energy of the meetup was heavily furry just in general. And there was a little fursuit photo shoot at the end of it. I got a picture of this. I'll show you. I got kind of like a tight end shot of this group, but you could see here they had like 6 fursuiters get together in front of the cars for a photo shoot. So, you know, and that I believe Roman was the one who took the photos. So I would say probably a furry, probably likely a furry. They also like right after Too Many Games, I think like all of them just went right to TrotCon in Pittsburgh because Too Many Games is in Philadelphia. So just basically crossed. You never thought about the intersection of gamers and car guys, says Manny. I don't even think, well, they weren't even gamers. Like that was the funny part is like, obviously there's plenty of car guys at Too Many Games just because you get together 100,000 people, chances are 10% of them are car guys, like, or girls or, you know, whatever, gender-free car people. That's most of the type that was, it was not a lot of guys at this particular car show. There was a lot of non-binaries and furries, but yeah, again, I have footage of this, so I'll get that up somewhere at the point, like 10 minutes of me going around like slowly realizing just how weird the cars, like the regular cars, actually are. It was a interesting experience. And then I also got footage of him like giving out the awards. I'm sure they also released this or will release it somewhere. But yeah, like I think that just because of the fact that cars are an everyday fact of life for especially most United States Americans, it's almost impossible to find a large group of people without like a significant car person contingent. Like it is the most consistent hobby. It's probably the biggest hobby in America. You know, like the most people have some kind of level of care about it. Most of my high school friends became car guys at some point. You know, Bird when I got together with him, as far as I know, had no interest or knowledge about cars whatsoever. And then about a year later, took an interest in cars and then learned everything. Just spent like literally a year watching nonstop like Donut Media and fucking Whistling Diesel and, you know, any kind of car related channel.
Cylinder
good.
and 9,000 revolutions. It sits atop the small sports car food chain. It looks condescendingly down its sharp nose at Miatas, MR2s, Mercedes SLK 230s, Toyota 86s, as if to say, all you poor people sports cars, you can't be me. Look at your pathetic resale value. I, S2000, am going to look at myself in cars and bids. That's my mirror, and as I do, I will touch myself to all the closing bid auction prices. I fear no car, except that one, that thing. Anyway, go ahead, click on the link in the description.
Yeah, so that's what regular car reviews videos are like. Either of those two guys, both hilarious in their own ways.
2004.
Okay, enough. Did Gary get me his 7x7 or whatever? Yes, that's right. It was in how they marketed that I used the regular car reviews postmodernism segment as just like a 1 minute cutaway gag in the commercial break. Gary always just tweeted my 7x7. Curious how many of the albums people will actually recognize. We'll find out. You should delete Twitter. Twitter will give you cancer. I've literally gone to great lengths at certain points in my life to like extensively block myself from Twitter. But you got to understand, I've been on Twitter since July 2008. July 2008. That is 16 years ago. I am 33. I've been on Twitter for almost half of my goddamn life. So I can't easily just stop using this. There were times early on in like 2010, 2011, where I got so sick of Twitter that I literally ad blocked myself from it. Like I took ad blocker and blocked every independent element of the page so that it would be really hard to unblock all of it. I would regularly install these things that would like time you out, like give you like 1 hour of Twitter allowed in a day. And if you are on for more than an hour, it times you out. And I actually used that to train myself to get quicker about my Twitter usage, you know, to like get in, get out really quick and know how to not waste as much time on it. So I'm at a place now in my life where Twitter doesn't occupy as much of my time as it used to. Yeah, Twitter was out in like 07, I think. So I think it came out in 2007, and a lot of the older anime bloggers that I followed and was friends with, they all started using Twitter because a big problem in the anime blogosphere was we didn't know how to make mid-sized posts. It's like everything felt like it either had to be a whole essay or there was no point in talking about it. But like we were all watching tons of stuff that you just have like a little bit to say about. So Twitter quickly drew in all the people who just wanted to like say exactly what they thought about the episode they just watched. And it totally murdered everyone's anime blog. Between Twitter and Tumblr, anime blogs just completely fucking died. And yeah, we've been here ever since. There was a chance Google Plus almost got all the AniTubers onto it, but Google Plus just never took off. So we all left and went back. Oops, I don't want to look at my DMs. I don't know why I can even look at my DMs. I can't do shit. I can send DMs. That's weirdly the one thing it lets me do on Twitter. Whatever. I gotta find, right. I was on Twitter to find Gary's chart. Forgot why I was there. Gary, where's your chart? I don't see Gary's chart. Did you just like not tag me? You just posted it apropos of nothing, just off into the ether, all unrelated and such? You did. Okay. Here we go. Okay. This is Gary Elway's top 49 albums. All right. The number one here is Neil Cicierega's Mouth Dreams. I've actually not listened to that. Actually, I don't know if I've heard it at all. I remember Mouth Silence, Mouth Sounds, and Mouth. Even the third one I hadn't listened to as much. It was Mouth something. I don't think it was Mouth Dreams. I think that's like a fourth one, right? I don't know if I've heard Mouth Dreams. Splendor and Misery by Clipping. This album is a big part of how I became friends with Riley. Because the first time Riley came over to my house, I had a lithograph of this signed by Clipping. That was there was like a giveaway at a local record store to win this. I'm probably the only person who entered specifically to win this prize. So I did. I'm actually not sure where that is right now. It's probably in Kentucky. But this was Riley's favorite Clipping album. And I've actually listened to it the least times because it's a very like meditative album. But Riley sold me on the experience of you have to listen to this like driving in a car late at night when like you can't see fucking anything, just total darkness, and like floating through space like you're in a spaceship. It does create the perfect vibe for this album. Full blast, you know, in the car is the best way. Blonde Redhead, Melody of Certain Damaged Lemons. I've never heard of that one. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, classic album. Savant Jester, I don't know that. Shadow Academy, I don't know that. Handsome Boy Modeling School, So How's Your Girl? I think I only know them for... Didn't they do the song... Fuck. How does it go? Not much of a girlfriend. Never seem to get a lot. Is that Handsome Boy Modeling School? Anyway, I don't know. I've heard a little bit of them, I think. Daft Punk Discovery, classic album. Plastic Beach, classic album. I don't know Orion's Lush Life. The Beatles' Abbey Road obviously is a classic album. I don't personally know it. So, like, I can't tell you what's on Abbey Road. Let's see. Was this their last album? Because if it is, that's actually my favorite one. Yeah, this actually might be my favorite Beatles album, but I listen to so little Beatles. Does this have She's So Heavy on it? No, that's the... Never mind. This isn't the one I thought. Come Together is good. You know, Here Comes the Sun, kind of cheesy. I don't know. I don't know most of these. So, yeah, that's not the one. Okay, what's this? Savant Protos. Never heard of it. Dream Theater's Awake. This is a lot of Wheedly Woodlies. This album, you know, it's all right. I actually have a physical copy of this. It's one of the Dream Theater albums that I like more. But mostly when I think of this, I just think, pull me under. Oh, it does have She's So... Wait, how did I not see it? What am I missing here? Oh, right. It's called I Want You in parentheses, She's So Heavy. I forgot. Okay, then yeah, this is the one I've listened to more than others. Shows you how much Beatles I've listened to. That's my favorite Beatles song, though. I Want You, She's So Heavy. Which I think is covered. No, not on this one, but it's covered on a Typo Negative album. Very good cover. Their Beatles medley. Okay, this says Pull Me Under, and that's all I really remember from it. Boris Flood, I've talked about many times. One of my favorite albums. Great sleeping album. Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack, classic. Demon Days is classic. I Monster, Never, Odd, or Even. I've never heard of that. I like the cover. It's neat. Sturgill Simpson's Sound and Fury. I've heard of this dude, but I've never really listened to him. The Prodigy, Invaders Must Die. I'm ashamed to say I've never really listened to any of the Prodigy album, and they get referenced by artists that I like constantly. Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia in particular. They both love dropping references to the Prodigy. So I should probably listen to a lot more of the Prodigy. It'd probably be my speed. Bloody Kisses is one of my favorite albums. Classic Typo Negative. Fucking hilarious lyrics. Totally unique sound. Definite trans egg depression that killed. Would Transition have saved Pete Steele? Probably. But you know, it's hard to be a 7 foot tall, chiseled mass of flesh, and also a girl, I think. It's just tough out there. Anyway, They Might Be Giants with Flood. I've never heard that one. Katamari Damacy OST, classic. This is my album, right? Trial of the Golden Witch, This Ain't It, Chief. What an interesting pick to have for one of my albums. Because this was like the collection of songs that basically each of these songs was supposed to be a whole album that I only ever ended up making one song for. So like Rainy Lenny was a project to... I had this like 20-minute Tonkatsu DJ Agetaro soundtrack mega mix that I put together, and I was going to rap over the whole thing, but I just never got past like the first 40 seconds. 7.4 billion is just a cool song that I made independently with no intent of releasing on an album. I was going to do a new metal covers album. Only did one. This was going to be rapping over metal samples. Only did one. This was the opening theme of me and Munchie's podcast. The Shintaro Kago rap. This is actually maybe my most heard song just because it is it has a video, and the video itself, well, it's probably the most like viewed video about Shintaro Kago, right? Let's see. Well, it didn't come up right away, so maybe not. I'm actually surprised. This This used to come up a lot more quickly when you search for this. It's got 80,000 views, so it is probably... Now, granted, this is just me rapping over a Flying Lotus song that Kendrick Lamar already rapped over, although he did not rap over as much of it as I did. Blackout Curtains was the only song I made with the Acid Girl persona before like 2020, and then this is like a demo. So it's a very strange album of mine. I'm curious what you really like off of this so much. Like, what is your favorite song on here? 7.4 billion is really good. I like the Twisted Transistor cover. I like On That Ragnarok shit. You know what? I like all these songs. I actually don't think this is an unreasonable one of my albums to have as a favorite. It's just unexpected. I don't see a lot of people champion that one. But it is good. 7.4 billion is your favorite? Yeah, that's probably my favorite on there too. Okay, anyway, Yoko Kanno's Song to Fly. I don't know Song to Fly. I don't think. Is this from an anime? It's just an album. Huh. I've never heard it. I'll have to check that out. I do love some Yoko Kanno. Nine Inch Nails with Teeth. Interesting pick here. Nine Inch Nails was a band like I grew up knowing was one of my mom's favorite bands, but because she had like Pretty Hate Machine on, I think she had originally had it on vinyl or maybe on CD, but it got stolen. And so like I didn't really grow up hearing a lot of the stuff that had been my mom's favorite music right before I was like 4 or 5, because it all got stolen or like sold or lost, you know. So we would mostly listen to new CDs, and this was the first Nine Inch Nails that like came out. My mom bought it, put it in the CD player, and I heard it a whole bunch, you know. So to me, this is like my first exposure, and it's interesting because it's a very cleaned up sound, you know. Like yeah, Pretty Hate Machine and Downward Spiral are good albums, but With Teeth was a friend when I needed one. I could get that. I understand that. And like Pretty Hate Machine to me is a lot more of a mixed bag. Like it's got a lot of experimental production, but not everything hits to me. And I guess that's kind of true with Teeth, but the parts that hit just hit harder and more of it hits. And it's more like consistent and thematic, and like it has a lot of really good lyrics. It's less just like being edgy and more like meaningful and thoughtful, you know? And it's got "Don't You Fucking Know What You Are," which objectively was ripped off on the Gurren Lagann soundtrack. All right, Frankenstein Girls Will Seem Strangely Sexy, classic album, amazing, mindless self-indulgence. I can never decide if this one or You'll Rebel to Anything is my favorite. I put You'll Rebel on my chart because I wanted to change it up from the last time. Because I feel like You'll Rebel to Anything, every song on it is like a total banger. And on this album, there's a bunch of total bangers. And there's a bunch of good songs, you know, that aren't like amazing. But it's still just, it's an amazingly consistent for being 30 tracks. And they're all fun. I hope Jimmy didn't do all the bad stuff he's been accused of. Alabama 3, Exile on Cold Harbor Lane. I don't know that one. Dizzy Rascal, Addicted to Bass, Winter 2009. I don't know that one either. Extreme 6 XG2. I'm guessing this is like a racing game soundtrack. I don't know the game or the soundtrack. We got Mezzanine by Massive Attack, right? Yeah, I'm sure I've heard this whole album probably. Massive Attack is cool. Their music is like a little too like chilled out background music for me to really like get a strong grip on it and remember it. But whenever I throw it on, I'm just like, yeah, chilled out vibes. Cowboy Bebop Blue, legendary soundtrack. Amazing. Never seen a blue sky. Ween, fucking The Mollusk. This is the one that's got Ocean Man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand, which is an amazing song. It took me a long time to catch on to Ween. Like people had told me about it a couple of times, and I was like, "What is this? Like, what is this about? You know, what is this? What is this for?" And then at some point, I think because of Carl from WATP being like a massive Ween fan, I think that helped me understand because like it fits his sensibilities so much that I was like, okay, I get it. Because like you walk into Carl's house and there's like a Ween poster and a Primus poster, but both of them are like artistic, like in a way that can sit in like a nice living room. You know, like nothing else in the house seems weird or freakish, except that there's just these cleverly disguised Ween and Primus posters up. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I've never gotten through like their whole discography or even really listened to a lot of their whole albums because there's just like constant left turns. Like no two songs are alike on any album. But they have a bunch of songs that I've slowly come to just absolutely love. Ocean Man's one of them. Transdermal Celebrations, just one of my favorite songs of all time now. It's Gonna Be a Long Night. A lot of stuff from Quebec. That's my favorite one so far that I know. But I have a long way to Ween. All right, Enya, Paint the Sky with Stars. I've never listened to Enya. I've heard of them. Crash Kings, don't know them. Fountains of Wayne, Welcome Interstate Managers. I can't remember what Fountains of Wayne is known for. The Arcane soundtrack, you know, Arcane soundtrack had Denzel Curry and Fantastic Negrito, which are me and Bird's respectively favorite musicians. So at the time, anyway, Kendrick has kind of supplanted as like the absolute ultimate music talent. I can't put anybody above Kendrick Lamar anymore. He is a fully asserted God status. But you know, Arcane was a cool soundtrack. John Coltrane, Giant Steps. I'm sure I've probably heard this before, but I couldn't call it to mind. DC Talk, Supernatural, never heard it. Rich Mullins, Songs, never heard it. Hey, Baroness Phantom. I'm glad you like that album. Not a lot of people really do. Not a lot of people vibe with Baroness Phantom. It's my album. It's my shoegaze album. My industrial shoegaze. Industrial noise gaze, something. What did I call this? Like Death Consciousness by way of Denki Groove, like Fuck Your Emotional Bullshit by way of Koltar of the Deepers, like Boogie Pop Phantom by way of Baroness Grey. This short album has elements of industrial electronic shoegaze, hardcore punk, emo, and black metal in a genre I'm calling void gaze. Okay, it's my void gaze album, sure. Ashes All Over My Brand New Clothes is one of my favorite songs I've done. Big Low is, I think, one of the best songs I've done. And I really enjoyed the Snowblind cover. Also, Ghoster is like one of my favorite songs I've made in terms of just overall sound. It didn't make sense to you until the third time you heard it. You were high and it made all the difference. It would make sense. You've never tried listening to music while high, Amy. That's wild to me. That's like the main point of getting high, I thought, was to listen to music, especially acid. But this is more of a weed album. In particular, this is basically an album about getting low pressure headaches. Like, particularly in Virginia in the summertime, there's certain times of summer where it'll rain a whole lot for a little while. And sometimes there will be like this long period throughout the day, like throughout the morning and afternoon before the rain starts, where it just keeps swelling and the pressure keeps getting heavier in the atmosphere. And like, it will fuck with my head in a way I can't really explain. I just feel really hazy and dissociative and like I don't want to do anything but try to smoke that feeling out of my head. And it doesn't work. And so I'll just be sitting there smoking and smoking until when the rain finally starts, that's when it starts to loosen up and like my head starts to feel right again because like there's like a dispersal, you know? But it'll happen like a bunch of times throughout the summer. So I made this album about the way that my head feels in those circumstances, basically. Particularly Ashes Over My Brand New Clothes. That's the song that comes into my head a lot when I think about that. And then you also had Gay and Dead, which is probably my most beloved album by fans in general. You know, it's got Paradise and Name Only. It's just like my most popular song with Endless Jess. Broken Brilliance is popular. Fat and Dangerous, classic. One of my bigger videos. I'm curious to know what your favorite is. You don't like Body Rolls? I mean, you're not supposed to. Body Rolls is the most like repugnant, ratchet. I don't like Body Rolls. I can barely listen to that. I have to be like really shit faced to listen to Body Rolls. I was really shit faced when I made Body Rolls. But people have always told me who like the song that they like to imagine like the room full of me, like nine. I wanted that to be the music video. I don't have the technology to do it, but my dream was to have like 90 of me in the bedroom, like all, going crunk at the same time. What are my favorites on here? I really love Fall Into Pieces. That's always been my favorite on here, just for the performance is really good. Freak Power has some of my best bars. This is my dad's favorite song of mine. Like, my dad is always begging me to make more like Freak Power. Your favorite is Bunker. Interesting. That's a good one. Quarters, one of my favorites. I just love the beat and the vibe on that song and the varied performances. I think Space Chillin' is super underrated. It is actually one of my favorite Cypher verses. Daydreamer is totally forgettable. That's got to be my least favorite. I like Nihilistic Suburban Void a lot too because it's super unique. Sarah Louise Blind Skywatcher built like a particular bass hit that I could press a key to like match the "it's a nihilistic suburban void, flip a coin to decide the meaning devoid." I literally had to press the key to the. That was really fun to do. But I love Space Chillin' just because I'm relaxing, so drop that shit about factions. I'm not actions. I'm not releasing a free lease to be Peach Keen with no young lean, but my ugly man. Gone insane like I like it. I connect best when it's frightening. I told I should do the right thing, but I look up to alternatives, so I'll burn the bridge and keep writing. Do not come to me biting. Do not call me a white thing. I'm done with all the infighting. East Coast and I'm down south, so I'm slow mouth and I'm thinking. Need a moment to sing along. At least silence here for your breathing. No auto-tune access, so this chorus might not be lit. Just give me a moment. I'm going to blast off in a bit. That was just a test to make sure you're paying attention to this weapon that I'm setting up and getting ready to fire it. Oof. There never was Wait, was there an aborted chorus? Was there supposed to be a chorus and then I just took it out? That sounds right. I probably did have a chorus and then I just said, oh, that sucked, and then deleted it. Sarah, do you remember it? Because I don't. I just decided it would be funnier if it just blasted off into Fat and Dangerous instead. I totally forgot about that. Nihilistic Suburban Void is my Death Grippist track. That's definitely what I was going for with the delivery. That / Cities of Eve, which kind of is very similar, but Cities of Eve is even more of a everything I say is kind of in this voice. All right, finishing this. Let's see. Wolfgun Lights, never heard of it. Tom Waits, Nighthawks at the Diner. I've never heard of that album. I like Tom Waits. I've never deep dived his discography like that. I mostly know Blood Money for some reason. Like, I don't know why. The songs from that were the ones that reached me when I found out about him. Waking Wander, Shell Shock / Rushes Through My Veins. Never heard of it. John Petrucci, Suspended Animation. I know I've heard that name before, but I don't know who he is. Blockhead, music by Cavelight. Don't know it. Hikaru Utada, sorry. First Love. I only know her for the Kingdom Hearts songs. Social Distortion. Fun fact, Take Away This Ball and Chain was my first ever favorite song as like a 3-year-old or something. According to my mom, she was like, it's the first song you ever learned, first song you ever like wanted to hear again. Take Away This Ball and Chain. Listening to it now, I think that song is fucking boring and depressing and sad and it's catchy, but damn, this is not a song to be singing along to as a young person. It's like a drag, oh, my life has gone on a little too long type of a song. And then Green Day Dookie, actually not long behind that on the list of things I knew about as a kid. In the case of Green Day, it's because I met the band as a toddler, basically. My dad hung out with them during Lollapalooza, right before they really blew up, and then they went to Woodstock the next year wearing some of the clothes that they had traded with my dad. So I knew about that as a kid, and so therefore listened to the Dookie album because I knew, like, oh, I have some connection to these people, you know, and then fell in love with, in particular, Basket Case. Basket Case was like my there was a period of time I like the earliest time I can remember with music is being like 4 years old when we first moved to Virginia and running Basket Case by Green Day and then Losing My Religion by REM. And I wouldn't listen to the rest of the albums most of the time. I would just skip to those two songs and listen to them like repeatedly. Those are my two favorite songs for a time. But yeah, so anyway, cool. Good topsters there, Gary. Glad that I appeared in it 3 times. 3 out of your 49 favorite albums. Quite frankly, you could fill a whole top 49 with just my albums. I mean, you wouldn't. Nobody could possibly like all of these. I don't even like all of these. Which ones I don't like changes depending on my mood, though. And which ones I like changes depending on my mood as well. Sometimes I don't like any of my music. Sometimes I like almost all of my music. And all times, I think The World Over is criminally underrated as a lyrical masterpiece. But, you know, I learned from this album that you shouldn't put too much effort into your lyrics because it's just going to make them confusing and nobody will care. You should try to be as direct as possible and just say exactly what you're trying to say. Like, wake up early and I slap 3 rappers by daybreak. Nobody is confused what I mean by that. I don't think. Nihilistic Suburban Void was really the first one we did together in person. That's wild. What a fucking tanked up song to start with. We probably... because we were really into Death Grips at the time. So I was probably showing up thinking like, oh, we're going to make a bunch of fucking Death Grip songs. And like we made that one and I probably was like, all right, well, we're not going to make like a harder song than that, you know? So I guess that's it. Let's do something softer now. By the time I left, it was like Sad Gay Boy. Feel a little low like a sad gay boy. That's the only line I can remember from that song. You got a few good ciphers I want to bring back. You know, I'm a rapper, I'm a gamer, I'm an anime freak, I'm an old school geek, and I rep freak power every hour, every day of the week. When I hit peak, I get ready for the next peak. On fleek, don't reek. If you want to sit behind me, rules better broken than to follow them blindly. Kindly, would you please get off of your knees and trade the keys for minding your own business? Shut your mouth and witness. You can travel with us if you lack the mental fitness. Rips you out your days and we win this. Blink and I peak when I spin this. Love it. I've written all kinds of bars lately too. I got some like song-ass songs that I want to send to some of my song-ass song friends. Like people who write like songs and shit. Like pop songs. Here's a pop song I wrote called Under My Collar. And I don't really know what voice to sing this in, but maybe something like this. Okay. I'm looking forward to nostalgia for today from tomorrow on. I'm getting ready for the road my mistakes unroll for me to walk upon. You know I'm only in the mood 'cause you decided to turn me on. I know one day I'm gonna die, but that's not right now. So listen to my song. Do I need to hire like a singer who could sing this? Or like sell it to a singer who could sing this? I wrote a letter, knowing you're clever. You get the better picture in this. Heads that I severed, shown in the ledger. Barely legible, I must admit. Filthy attraction, saw too much action, and I hardly even lifted my gun. Evil in my eyes, you're telling me keep quiet, but you know I'm having way too much fun. I'm ripping through the town like a cat that keeps ripping up the couch. I'm wild, I'm free, I'm taking you with me. There ain't nothing you can do but sing. I'm looking forward to nostalgia for today, for tomorrow. I'm getting ready for the road, my mistakes unroll for me to walk upon. You know I'm only in the mood 'cause you decided to turn me on. I know one day I'm gonna die, but that's not right now, so listen to my song. I'll bet $10,000 come call me when you're taller. I'll never live in squalor. Fort Knox under my collar. I'm ripping through the town like a cat that keeps ripping up the couch. I'm wild, I'm free. All right, you get it. I gotta find somebody who can sing this song. I can't do pop singing. I can do like rock singing. I can do emo singing, But I write these pop songs and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Here's another one called City in the Cloud. I don't care about the gender of my deodorant, but I shave all my body hair 'cause I can't get over it. Overexposed a bit, out of control a bit. Sing with the soul of it, round up the whole of it. Just like that hurricane weather, I'm gonna sever your tether to where you came from. Gonna take you away somewhere in the air. And you're never gonna come back down. No, oh. The city in the cloud. Oh, the city in the cloud. Some shit like that. Originally, I had a few more bars in there, but it was accidentally ripping off the melody of Carly Rae Jepsen's song, and I was like, oof, I can't be that ripped off of that Carly Rae song. Oh man, I've been writing some good ass fucking bars lately, though. Sometimes I read a bar and I'm like, I really wrote this only a week ago. I've thought about this bar 700 times now. Yes, Lapusha, you can pay me to watch a video, absolutely. But this is one I'm really proud of. Gesticulate and shake the gestalt like fault line quakes, all gas and no brakes, past face, lames and squares, race straight upstairs with snare complaints and bass riffs. Come sniff out the safe, rum sips up the face, clout chasing fakes will run out from this place. Reroute the river, now your town's a lake. Devout, deliver me around a pound of shake. Frown I make to frolic, yeah, power brolic. Powerball income, powered up systems, devour victims, cannibal corpse, an undead horse, a mad cow, disease, the real sow at ease. Make peace, please. Bullets, endlessly, bullets, endlessly. Frolic in the field with me, no shield be revealed to me. Whatever you call it, make it real to me. Fealty to the dream within, underneath the skin, no sin. Put on some Peggy when you're pegging me. It better be scaring the hoes, a frightening dose of cream. Dreamy dicks, creamy tits, big cum, yum, humdrum to me, bum, duty bum. Hey, ya, put another dick in it. 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 That's 15 dicks. Frolic in the field with me. No shield be revealed to me. Whatever you call it, make it real to me. Fealty to the dream within. Underneath the skin, no sin. Yeah, 15 dicks. There you go. I'm sure that was supposed to be to like a rhythm or a beat, but it just said put another dick in it X15 and then in parentheses that's 15 dicks. That's what it says. I missed a super chat. When did this happen? Oh, $5. I've been watching Genshiken recently. Do you believe that in the current anime culture, otaku are still a thing, or have they been left in the past? I think they're definitely still a thing, but I think that their form has changed. Like, I mean, Nino, my friend Nino, has been a huge proponent of an idea he's calling neo-otakuism. I haven't really interrogated what he means by that yet. To me, otakuism is at its core about the idea that like no one has to die. Like the idea of anime as like a healing factor to the world. I don't know. There's a lot of like philosophy I could get into, I guess, about what I think otaku are. I think that most of the like obsessive fans are now VTuber fans. Like I think there are way more VTuber otaku now than there are anime otaku. So I think that's why if it seems like otaku are dead, it's because they're not watching anime. Because being loyal to anime doesn't pay off. Like the anime industry does not reward your loyalty to it. And so that's what's, kind of burned me off of it is like I've started just supporting independent animations and like stuff where I can see the creators and I know who they are and I know they're getting my money, So I think there's a lot of anime fans who used to, watch like shows about cute girls just having conversations are now watching actual cute girls have conversations through the medium of pretending to be anime characters. And, they're showing the same level of obsession towards it as they ever did, but it's just a different medium. Like Econ, my friend, biggest otaku probably that I knew in the Western sphere. Pretty much the last time I hung out with him was just telling me about VTubers. He pretty much just introduced me to VTubers. This was like 4 years ago, but ever since then, that seems to be the culture. Like VTubers have outstripped anime for influence among this audience. So I think if they were going to make a Genshiken today, it would be about VTuber otaku. VTuber otaku are just the new idol otaku. I mean, that's what otaku are. Otaku are idol otaku for the most part, like I guess there's the brand of like specifically I just care about animation and like cells and like that kind of stuff. I don't think those people are very common and since cell animation died, like the tangibility of it has gotten so far away. Otaku want to be up close and personal to the thing they care about. And like you can get emotionally up close to art that is very revealing, but the more that it feels like it's commodified and just made for a mass market, and the farther it gets from just being like someone expressing themselves, like VTubers is literally just a girl who likes anime talking about whatever, it's the closest you're going to get to having Konata in real life sitting in front of you, is VTubers. So anyway, I feel like I've answered that question. Lapucia with $20 Australian says, watch D'Angelo Wallace's Cody Co video, and then to make us feel better afterwards, watch Titty Tussle on CG Bros channel. Okay, I've never heard of any of these things, so this is going to be a complete mystery to me. Oh shit, are we in this chat? Are we the otaku? Probably. You're definitely Trixie otaku. Those of you who hang out here all the time, you've put in more than enough engagement to consider yourselves as Golden Witch otaku, I think. Okay, D'Angelo Wallace's Cody. Okay, an uncomfortable conversation about Cody Co. Okay, I don't know who Cody Co is.
All right, Cody, let's have an uncomfortable conversation. Someone has been
Okay,
alleging for
I'm
years
not
now
Cody.
that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online.
I
And
see.
you know that
I see
people
where
are
this is
ignoring
going.
this because nobody is working harder to bury the story than you. And you're getting away with it because commentary YouTube has a serious problem. I can't blame any of your viewers or my viewers
One
for not
serious
hearing about
problem?
this because you've done such a good job hiding it up until now that I only found out about it recently. The situation has been talked about by smaller channels. It's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting
How
the
big is this
mainstream,
channel?
like with this Rolling Stone article or
Oh
this
my God,
H3
2 million
podcast
views.
discussion. But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
A lot of people like him a lot, and they really are like doing any kind of mental gymnastic to just ignore it.
I'm not here to accuse you of committing a crime in this video because I can't do that based on someone else's allegations. Nobody can definitively take these allegations as proof, but at the same time, they should still be looked at and not treated as an open secret and swept under the rug like you've been doing for so many years now. And from the way the situation keeps popping up more and more often, it's clear that there's only so much rug sweeping you can do before people start taking a closer look at things. So let's take a closer look. We both know that Tana Mongeau is a YouTube personality with a history of lies, controversy, and genuinely problematic behavior that's become so entangled with her brand that her podcast is called Cancelled with Tana Mongeau. And speaking of this podcast, about a month ago, she hosted a live episode in front of an audience, and the conversation turned to you.
I'm reading your stuff, Lucario. I don't know who PK Russell is or anything, though.
This clip started making the rounds, and people were understandably perturbed because if Tana Mongeau was 17, you would have been 25. So people started speculating, and Tana decided to set the record straight.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you, and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him, like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up.
To be clear, 17 is under the age of consent in many states, including Florida, where Playlist Live used to take place. So this means that Tana Mongeau is accusing you of statutory rape, and she's not trying to hide that.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Nothing would make this situation better, but plenty of things make it worse, like the fact that she was a fan of yours at the time, adding an additional layer to the power dynamic you would have had over her.
I grew up loving him, and I think you know what I mean? Like, I was just like excited and a fan.
Tana seems to have many feelings about this, which we'll go over a bit later, but she stated very clearly that the actions she's accusing you of are inexcusable.
If I had a 17-year-old daughter or a little sister or something, like, I would kill. I would never let it fly.
These recent allegations are...
So it's just a reminder that if you're under the age of 18, you're not even allowed to watch my stream. If you give any indication that you're under 18, you will be banned. I don't even want to enter the realm of talking to 17-year-olds personally.
They're bad enough on
in
their own,
any
but there are
context.
a couple of things that make them worse still.
No, they have adults in their own life they can talk to about whatever they need, and if they don't, there's other organizations. If there's a troubled teen on here, we can send them to a troubled teen place. This is not a fucking troubled teen place. This is a place for mean adults to be mean to each other and also nice.
Things that many people don't know yet, but you do. You know that Tana has been making the same specific claim against you for years now. Here she is back in 2021 saying the same thing.
I was 17 at the time, 18. I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Kalen, shout out Cody Ko.
But what lends the most credibility to Tana's claims, and what is really the most damning thing for you, Cody, is a clip that you might not have even seen yet. See, I read the Rolling Stone article, I watched the YouTube videos about this, and they all missed something. And I understand why. The clip I'm about to show you is extremely hard to find. The original has been lost to time, and it's a wonder we have this on video at all. But if there was anything to give me any more clarity about these allegations before I formed my opinion, I was going to find it. Remember how Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hanna tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down?
That one Lucario fan saying this is the era of YouTube that I grew up with. Just the whole... The mere thought of having grown up with an era of YouTube, it makes me feel old, because 2007 when I created my YouTube account, I was already 16. So I mean, I was still growing up, but I wouldn't say that I grew up with the YouTube videos, you know. And even then, in 2007, I used it mostly to find music videos and AMVs, and I had like a playlist, like my favorites playlist that I would just listen to like every day of everything I'd collected. The only like YouTubers I remember from back then is stuff like Epic Mealtime and Freddie W. and God, who else? Oh, I guess early Smosh, where they were just like mouth lip syncing over like the Mortal Kombat theme or whatever. But I wasn't like a fan of any of them like that, you know? It wasn't until the 2010s that I really got into YouTube culture on a level of like following people and who they follow, you know, like following the connections between YouTubers. And it was mostly Egoraptor who brought me into that because of like following Egoraptor's likes and stuff that, you know, I'm always hesitant to call Egoraptor he. I know he identifies as a he, but I've never wanted to force feminize somebody more in my entire life.
Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know. I know she like looks a little older. She's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
This is really, really bad. People make
that was a great cut on that clip,
specifically regarding things that are very difficult to prove or disprove, unfortunate as that may be. But when somebody makes an allegation and they say they have a witness, and that witness can be found telling the exact same story years before any of this came out, that's not something I can just ignore. In a situation that cannot be proven, corroboration by a third party goes a long way. And frankly, Cody, the allegations against you seem to have been corroborated. But instead of researching to find these answers like I did, many of your fans seem far more interested in attacking your accuser.
I have seen so many comments, but what was she wearing? It's Tana, so who cares? Well, it's Tana Mojo.
The reaction to this has been unsurprising, but incredibly disappointing. Demanding proof that they know she can't provide, acting like she's only doing this to gain clout or ruin you somehow, despite the fact that she's never once put your name in a video title over this. Or worst of all, implying that a 17-year-old could have truly consented to any.
I'm just so happy that this, I assume he's a guy. This guy uses names. I'm only assuming that because that one Lucario fan used those pronouns and has been a fan for a long time. I'm glad that he doesn't censor the names. I hate that Adoseph Buckley cuts out the names of the people he's making fun of for their shitty comments. These people need to be recognized. You should not be allowed to say dumb shit on the internet and have your anonymity protected. People should know that you're the person who said that dumb shit.
Of this. But let's be clear about one thing. That is not the case. No amount of retroactive age calculations or what-if scenarios change the fact that what Tana described would be, objectively speaking, a crime. A crime which you've said absolutely nothing about. And even if this wasn't...
I want people to always remember that the best thing, the greatest gift of freedom of speech is not that you get to say whatever you want. It's that people who shouldn't be saying what they're really thinking will self-report through what they say. If we didn't have freedom of speech, you'd have a bunch of people who are racist and are not saying anything. Whereas because we have this and people feel secure in their ability to say things and feel like, oh, well, it's my freedom to say that. And it's like, yeah, well, okay, why did you exercise that freedom by doing this? You know, that's what's so nice about freedom of speech is we get to see people out themselves for what they're like because they think, well, as long as it's legal, I'm going to do it. And it's like, okay, well, social consequences and legal consequences are categorically different, you know? We don't have to like you because of your opinions. We just can't literally restrict your freedoms because of your opinions. But, you know, if you could have all the legal freedom in the world, and if nobody likes you, you're still going to be a lonely, dumbass piece of shit who needs to change their opinions if they want to have friends. It's just the way it be sometimes.
Illegal, you remember being 25. You would have known then, as I currently know at age 25, that nobody this age should need an explanation for why a 17-year-old is off limits. Because you remember being 17 too. Now, thankfully, Tana's personal experience with this isn't one of trauma. In fact, I've seen people defending you by saying, Tana said she doesn't care, so why should any of us care? but that's not exactly what she was saying.
I don't associate or hold it with trauma because I am such a comparative person where I'm like, so many worse things have happened to me.
And even if something isn't consciously internalized as an identifiable
I mean,
social
that's sad in and of itself that so many worse things have happened to her than this already very bad thing. Like, well, that's its own kind of sadness.
trauma, the body keeps the score.
I know things manifest in ways other than me directly feeling them. Like maybe I don't feel traumatized in certain aspects from certain things, and other things I do. But, you know, maybe they just manifest in ways other than directly feeling.
The answer to why any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years. She's been dismissed, discredited, and disbelieved before anybody ever gave her a chance. Because it's Tana, which sets a horrible precedent that if a person runs out of goodwill, they lose the right to come forward with their experiences.
The most traumatizing thing of all of this really was seeing how many people like don't believe people or don't believe me. I feel so bad for all of these young girls because then they see that and then it makes them not want to come forward.
And you, Cody, are part of the reason she's been met with this reaction. Your status as one of YouTube's golden boys has made it possible for you to ignore a situation that almost anyone else would have had to respond to by now.
I know for a fact if you swapped out Cody Ko with someone that like people didn't like that much, I would be receiving so much more sympathy.
I find your silence on the situation to be uncomfortable because I know that if Tana's allegations are true, then silence would be your only option, since telling the truth would be tantamount to confessing to a crime, and lying would put you at risk of being contradicted by a witness. And like I told you at the beginning, I'm not accusing you of committing a crime, but even if what Tana says is false, your silence is still grossly incompetent at best. Why are you choosing the path that would be your only option if you were guilty? Now, some seem to think that you're not obligated to speak up, and maybe that's what people are.
That was what made the Dr. Disrespect tweet so hilarious, was that like he only said what was legally possible to say, which was basically confessing, but also confessing in a way where you can't describe the details, but the details you can't that you're like deliberately leaving out makes it sound worse. Like, oh, what you're implying is that you did something much worse than what you're saying, and you can't go into details because it's so bad. You know, like he's like, well, this guy's just completely silent, not denying anything. So that's even, you know, it just makes it seem like, so you did everything? All right.
Around you are telling you as well. But from one creator to another, you absolutely have an obligation to, at the very least, call out the misogyny, the victim blaming, and all manner of cognitive dissonance that's coming from your audience in the name of defending you against allegations that you're too cowardly to address. And to be clear, this is cowardice because you demonstrate it whenever there's controversy afoot. Tana's further claims make it sound like you're terrified.
I said something about it online and it was starting to surface. And he texted me like, are we good? And was like, I said, yeah. And like, he was like, my wedding's coming up.
You do have a history of making bad choices when you're terrified of people finding things out, like your history of using slurs.
5, nigga, 6, nigga, 7, nigga, 8, nigga, 9, nigga.
There's more clips than that, but the reason most people are blissfully unaware of them is because you posted your vague apology not on Twitter, not on YouTube, but on Patreon, despite acknowledging in your apology that the clips were surfacing on Twitter. This is
So
one
that
of
you
many
can say
examples
that
of
you
your
posted an
poor handling of
apology
controversy.
somewhere.
Not many people know that you've already lost fans over an eerily similar topic. You used to frequently feature and promote your college friend Colby Leachman in your videos until it came out that during your school days, Leachman's university put him on probation for, as a United States district judge would later put it, the non-consensual videotaping of a sex act with another student, showing the video to other people, lying to the police about the video, and behaving horribly to that individual and at least one other woman. To make matters worse, the woman in the video also alleged that Leachman drugged her before the recording and that she hadn't actually consented to anything at all. You had this man in your videos. You were telling us to follow him on Instagram, and at some point you did wise up, so he's no longer part of your content, but he still seems like he's very much a part of your friend group. From the continued hangout since then to inviting him to your wedding just last year, people are under the impression that you're best friends with someone who, at best, committed an illegal sex act, and at worst is an alleged rapist. And no matter how many times people rediscover this information over the years, you refuse to say anything at all. You could clarify this, but you won't. But now your cowardice has reached a new low. You've tried speaking and you've tried silence, and now you're choosing censorship. On your YouTube channel, where you've been pumping out content nearly every day now, I couldn't find a single comment on your last video about this situation. Not even one. Comparing that to the comment section on your Instagram, where every single comment I saw was about this, it's clear that you're heavily censoring your audience on YouTube. But surely you must have realized the limits by now, since people have just transferred the conversation over to your wife's channel. The fact that her comment section is overrun due to your decision to stay silent about this should be all the proof you need that that decision was wrong. At this point, your silence and censorship are a response with disturbing implications. The only thing that I've seen this hidden portion of your audience asking for is the truth. So why aren't you telling it? And your silence isn't the only one that's bothering me either.
All these Reddit threads, like if my name's on any thread, it's all getting deleted.
I witnessed the heavy-handed moderation of your subreddit in real time as I researched this video. I would refresh the page and posts would suddenly be unapproved by moderators after racking up hundreds of comments, removed because they could, quote, instigate drama, or more commonly, just locked and or removed with no reason given whatsoever. I'm sure whoever is doing this thinks they're helping you, but you should probably tell them that they're making things look 10 times worse. But it's not just your moderators, it's your friends and fellow YouTubers too. It's no coincidence that with the exception of the H3 podcast, I haven't seen a single channel over 1 million subscribers do so much as acknowledge that this situation exists. And I'm not talking about channels that never would have discussed something like this either. I mean the same channels that were rightfully calling out people like Dr. Disrespect for texting a minor, which are the same channels that are now completely ignoring a scenario with an even bigger creator being accused of doing something much worse. You can't say it's because the allegations are unconfirmed.
I know the reason I can
channels that we're
never
talking about just
I can never break into this level of YouTube creator space because it requires me to like pay attention to and know who the other ones are. Like when he was saying like, oh, all these million sub channels haven't even talked about this. I'm like, oh God, would I have to know about this? Like would having 1 million subs necessitate that I know about everybody else who has 1 million subs? That sounds daunting. Especially because most YouTubers are boring.
discuss rumors all the time. And this video is all the proof you need that there's still plenty to discuss, even without making definitive statements. The general public may not know about the situation, but I promise you, anyone who's online enough to run a YouTube channel does.
The amount of people in this industry who like want to protect him and are like talking to me in a way where it's like they, you know what I mean? Like, or even just friends like, but I love him.
The community silence on this has been so staggering that people are now saying that commentary YouTube is a boys club, aka a male-dominated space that mistreats women while enabling and protecting men. And the truth is, Cody, whether you're guilty or not, you are being enabled to ignore this and protected from having to respond as an act of misogyny towards Tana Mojo. We both know that on our side of commentary YouTube, any man can easily elevate himself by dunking on misogynists in his content and espousing a generally feminist viewpoint. But if that viewpoint turns to silence the moment a situation is no longer cut and dry, then that viewpoint was a brand strategy, not a belief. The misogyny that we should be discussing is right here in the community, yet the only thing I'm hearing is a bitter, hollow silence, one that you have the power to end. I said it in the beginning, I said it in the middle, and I'll end with this. One person's testimony does not give me the right to accuse you of doing anything illegal, but I can point out the facts. It's a fact that you and Tana were around each other during the year she specified, as seen in your uncomfortable collab videos, which are still online. It's a fact that Gabby Hanna has made claims that seem to corroborate Tana's allegations against you. And it's a fact that you are suppressing your audience's knowledge of these allegations by censoring your YouTube comment section. These things may not prove Tana's allegation, but you better believe that they contextualize them in a way that you need to address. And you still have every right to address this, even now. If you have a side of the story that we're missing, then tell it. If I have my facts wrong, say something. Nobody should ever be denied the right to tell the truth, no matter what. I'm sure we can all agree that everyone should have the right to speak their truth, but that's exactly why I couldn't just sit here and watch the whole world tell Tana that it doesn't apply to her. Regardless of the truth of the situation, I'm just So disappointed either way. That is all. Goodbye, Cody.
Well, that was a very well-made video about some shit I know nothing about. I'm sure I'd be very disappointed in this Cody Co person if I knew who they were. All right, what was the other thing you said? Titty tussle on CG Bros channel? Okay, titty tussle. All right, this looks amazing. This looks incredible. Gonna see some titties tonight. Tits. I need them tits.
Ha.
Good lord. Is she trying to get rid of him?
Oh, holy titty totem. Hear my prayer. My boobs may be big, but my request is small. My tits are tiny, and that's a big problem. Please grant me bigger, smaller boobs.
Boob transfer. Let's go.
Whoa. Whoa.
Nice. Perfect.
Huh?
No! What have you done? Uh-oh. Too small. Oh. Well, that's... Now they're even bigger. Now you've gone too far.
Huh? You'll be safe in here.
Nope. Oh my god.
Ha! Suck it, milk jugs.
Good. Tortilla tits.
Bourgeoisie.
Bourgeois. Uh-oh. What have you done? Oh no. What the fuck? No. This is all wrong.
Milkers.
Oh my god.
Oh, why did you even want a bigger chest? You were so graceful. Well, you kicked my ass with your massive honkers. You looked hot as hell.
Yeah, but she couldn't walk though.
Get our boobs back.
I mean, let's not forget that her issue was not just like...
Do this.
I mean, I guess maybe she realizes she's so hot that she doesn't mind the other issues it was creating. Boob unity.
Chelsea, Charlotte. Oh, it's so good to have you back. What a massive weight off my chest.
Okay, but
Friend?
still transfer like 30% of that girl's into the other ones, and they both be just... I couldn't help but feel for flat-chested girl, because I've already got more tits than she does, and I've been in, you know, every time they get bigger, I'm happy about it. So I can't, you know, I don't think I could settle at the end. I'd be like, bitch, you could give me like 30%. Like, let's strike a deal about it. They both, I don't think either of their requests was unreasonable. And I think if they were going to work together anyways, they could have both fulfilled their desires. I understand the self-acceptance message at the end, but you can change the size of your tits. So, you know, are we trying to knock on everybody who does? I doubt it. Anyway, that was really good. It was adorable and very fun. I liked it. Who the fuck are the CG Bros? Looks like they do all kinds of shit. Most of it's not titty related though. So I'm not interested. Okay. I feel for big titty girl having to deal with boob sweat and back pains is awful. Yeah, I mean, her tits were too big. Like, they were definitely too big for a girl with such a small body. That's why I'm like, why at the end? Like, her problem was not aesthetics. The girl telling her, like, oh, you look hot. It's like, okay, but that wasn't the issue, though. The issue was her fucking. She was like literally having to heft them around with her hands because they were like a pain. You know. I would think you would naturally build like some kind of like I don't know muscles that would help, right? Like when you're I don't know how big boobs work. I guess I feel like I could handle some substantially large boobs before it would start to be like a real problem. You know, they don't weigh a ton. They're not like the heaviest. Anyway, I gotta take a piss. What should I put on while I piss? What's interesting? What's happening that's interesting? Who out of that I follow that I actually follow? Hey, Bird's here. Bird, I was about to go take a pee. Will you talk to the chat while I go to the pee? Just tell them cool things. I just got done watching a animation about a titty fight.
Whoa, it's me. So I'm playing Lies of P. That's what I've been doing today. I think I've put like 8 hours into it so far. And I've beaten 4 bosses, something like that. Maybe 5. I got stuck at an area with a guy called Beard 2. But anyway, I got stuck at an area kind of between a boss and a new enemy type that I haven't fought before. So the boss is called the Mad Clown Puppet, and he's supposed to train you how to perfect block. I'm not that good at that. Hoping to get better at it tomorrow. And then the type of enemy that I'm stuck on, they're like, I don't know, they're kind of like puppet masters, because so there's like this weird spider lady with like puppet strings coming out of her fingers that control these like little dolls that attack you and basically give you God, what's it fucking called? Deathblight? I think it's Deathblight. From like the Souls games. Lies of P is a lot of fun. I really do enjoy it. I think it's a great game. I'm glad I bought it. The weapon system is really interesting. You can pair handles with blades. Weapons I'm using, I haven't experimented too much with the weapon combination system yet, but I use the electric coil head or something like that for puppets. For boss weapons, the only one I've really found any success with is the it's called like the Holy Sword or something. It's Bloodborne-y because you can switch what it looks like from like a big sword to like a glaive kind of thing with like a pole arm. What are you doing back there?
Dancing.
Okay.
Your background dancing.
But yeah, I gotta experiment with the putting weapons together and stuff. I hope I can beat the Mad Clown Puppet. He's a real pain in the ass. And then I just got I think it's called Eagle Eyes. The P in Lies of P stands for Pinocchio. It's a Pinocchio game technically. You're playing as Pinocchio. I mean, it's basically Bloodborne, except the puppets went crazy instead of people. Geppetto existed in this town called Krat, and he worked with alchemists to create puppets, which are basically robots that run off of a thing called Ergo, and Ergo is the thing you use to level up. It's also what powers the puppets. Puppets all go crazy. I don't really know why yet. I have not spoiled this game for myself, aside from looking at boss fights. I don't really know what the story is or how the story ends. What are you fucking doing?
Funny stuff.
You're about to fight my favorite boss if you're in the place with the Deathblight spider ladies. That is where I am. I hope it's an easy boss. The hardest one for me so far, aside from the Mad Clown Puppet, which I don't think will be that hard once I get good at not parrying, perfect countering, was something Priest Andreas. He's like a big fucking creepy guy. And then what are you fucking doing?
I'm showing them the turtles baked.
Yeah, I just came in here to say goodnight and say hi. I did get a haircut. My grandma has texted me about 7 times saying, "You look so handsome. You look great." I've told people, and they are all saying, "You look great," which is nice. She's been asking me to cut my hair for as long as I've had long hair, which I think is 7 or 8 years. I do intend to grow it back out. I'm going to donate the hair, which I have in a ponytail in a bag, to cancer kids or something. I look like I'm going to church tomorrow. Kinda. Why the haircut? It's really fucking hot and humid. And I don't know. It feels much colder without having really long hair. When I stepped out of the Great Clips that I went to, oh, that felt nice. It had immediately felt like 15 or 20 degrees cooler, which is very nice. I'm very happy with that. It makes me want to go outside more. You look like Peter Parker, 2002. Yeah, Trixie's.
I said that too. I said he looks like a handsome version of fucking Tobey Maguire.
Trixie's said about 8 different celebrities that she thinks I look
Tobey
like.
Maguire.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen when he's young. A little bit of it's mostly those two. Those are the first 2 that come to mind.
The chat said Keanu Reeves.
I
don't know.
I don't see that.
Pizza time. Oh yeah, I made a shepherd's pie today. It was really good. I liked it. Used a lot of peas, which apparently give off a smell that Bee's mom doesn't like. Bully McGuire dance memes, but it's Bird. I don't know what Bully McGuire is.
In the third movie when he becomes a bully.
Oh, okay. Yeah, edgy Peter Parker. Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking silly. I don't know that I've seen all of that movie. I know I've seen the first, maybe the second one.
I mean, that scene, that whole edgy Peter Parker scene is
Billy
hilarious.
Corgan? Is that not the Smashing Pumpkins guy?
I guess I could maybe a little bit see it. You're a lot better looking than Billy Corgan, though.
Isn't he bald?
He's been bald for a very long time, yeah.
With hair. That's
the
Gerard
MCR
Way.
guy, yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. I kind of see what you're
You know
getting
what?
at.
I can see that with the hair, yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch that Carl was streaming tonight?
No.
He just titled it an emergency. I tuned in about 30 minutes late, and I think he talked about like actual Stuttering John stuff going on, like copyright claim bullshit. But then he played a music video, which apparently has been taken down off of YouTube, and it's him singing about how small of a penis he has.
Carl?
No,
Oh, John.
John, Stuttering
Oh,
John. I think it's from One Too Many. I'm not entirely sure, but it's real weird.
Huh.
It's not good either. It's like kind of a rock song at first, and then the third verse he says "break it down," and he starts rapping.
Oh no.
It's
Did you get any super chats while you were here?
No, people like my hair, but they don't like it enough to super chat me about it.
Super chat the hair. Super chat the hair. Yeah, I'm down here getting spooky. Yeah. Now I'm up here.
I gotta go to bed.
I'm gonna stay up and do work.
You mean live stream?
Yes, but also other work.
Aw.
Like administrative work. But I'll probably not be up that late because it's already 9:30. And we woke up pretty late. So.
Did you see the
Simone is tomorrow, Gary. That's Tuesday.
Did you see the conservative like news people or new Twitter accounts in Japan tweeting like. So actually, let me rewind. As a joke, a lot of Americans on Twitter said something to the effect of Trump turned his head because Trump said he turned his head because he heard Shinzo Abe say to turn his head.
What?
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's not real. Okay. It's something Twitter accounts are saying to be funny.
Yeah.
Sarcasm doesn't work so well in Japan, apparently, because there were a couple like actual Japanese people Twitter accounts going like, "Yeah, this actually happened. Oh my god, isn't that crazy?" Which I thought was really funny.
Well, the supposed real reason is that he was looking over at an illegal immigration statistic, and he just like looked over to see this graph, and if he had not turned his head, he would have been brained. So illegal immigration saved Donald Trump's life.
I bet he's really gonna hone in on it during his second term. How do you guys in chat feel about the fact that Donald Trump is probably going to win the presidential election? I mean, I kind of thought that was going to happen anyway.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, sure. There's that.
I went on a whole don't vote rant earlier. I was like,
yeah, you
vote
would
on local elections, but presidential elections, don't even fucking bother. Just go outside and talk to somebody. That's better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not a great feeling. Yeah, it was inevitable. Dickington Post, it's hilarious. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of really funny, actually. Feels even worse knowing Dems won't even blame running Biden for it now. I mean,
yeah,
they are still. I mean, they were for the week before.
It was beyond running Biden, running Hillary.
Yeah.
They fucked this up all the way back when they didn't put Bernie as the guy to run against Trump. I think Bernie had a real shot. Hillary didn't. Biden had a real shot after people decided they didn't like Trump as president, but then people didn't like Biden as president.
I would say
fucking Republicans didn't pick somebody else. So guess what? We're stuck with fucking Trump again.
I think most people disliked Biden as president more than they disliked Trump as president, which is a weird thing to say. Although it's kind of what I expected.
They're both dog shit presidents.
Yeah.
Absolute dog shit presidents.
Where's Pete Buttigieg? We want him.
Yeah, put that booty gay man in there. That guy fucking.
Or Mr. Beast.
Read. Well, Mr. Beast will definitely be president, but we got 9 years.
Do you think he's going to run as a Democrat or Republican?
He'll find a way to not do that.
Okay.
He's got the money. Like, he could literally just...
He could just run,
If
sure.
he can find a way to... Because you have to think about it. He's going to make it into a YouTube series. So, like, he's got to figure out how to make it entertaining for little kids that he's trying to become president. If he can square that circle with the incredibly brilliant marketing team, there's no way he tweeted that stuff without his team having told him that he, like, can do that, right? Like, yeah, you could run for president. We can figure that out. Trump did it on the back of being just famous. Reagan did it on the back of being just famous.
A YouTuber ran for mayor in London. Did he win?
I know a few YouTubers have run for mayor.
Yeah.
I think J-Reg might have run for...
I mean, what's his name? Fucking, what's Kane's real name? God, what's Kane's real name?
Hunter Thompson is almost elected sheriff of Aspen once.
That would have been a terrible fucking idea.
No, it would have been awesome.
I don't know. Glenn Jacobs. Glenn Jacobs, I'm pretty sure, is still the mayor of a town in Tennessee. Jacksepticeye ran for the mayor of London. Did he really? How didn't he win? Mr. Beast won't be able to run in 2036. 2033 isn't an election year. I mean, if he runs and gets elected, are they really going to stop him? Because he's
38. They're going to let him run when he's 38.
Okay. Nuxtaku, you're just saying shit, Lucario fan.
Well,
Nuxtaku did not run for mayor. Let's see.
Was it
Nico Omilana. I don't know who that is. And he wasn't even one of the two that shows up if you look up this election. Let's see who Nico Omilana is.
a YouTube prankster from Cyprus became a member of the European Parliament?
Well, that's... What
I
is
just
it?
I want Mr. Beast as president. I want Frank Hassel in his cabinet. You know, obviously, what's his name wants to be that guy, but he's not going to be because he sucks.
Huh?
The Blaze dude, like Frank Hassel for the Blaze.
Oh, Alex Stein?
Yeah, Alex Stein. That guy obviously wants to be in the cabinet, but he won't because he sucks.
Why do you think he sucks?
Because of his position on the whole Riley drama.
What was his position on it?
You didn't see his debate with EBS where he was trying to be like a big, huge pussy about it?
No, I didn't.
And EBS just kept hammering him. You should see it. Alex Stein's a pussy bitch.
Oh, well. You heard it here
EBS made him
first.
look like a massive coward.
Yeah, I mean, probably is.
He works for fucking Glenn Beck. They all these fucking Blaze people are just the most fucking bottom feeding pieces of shit in the world.
It's the guy who went to Japan and didn't pay for his trains. What is it with YouTubers and fucking around in Japan? It's not that hard to not do.
We had 3 cool white friends in Japan.
I don't know that one.
It's a Lonely Island song.
Oh, okay.
An obscure Lonely Island song.
Well, bye.
Yeah, I can sleep.
I do too. Maybe think about doing some administrative stuff tomorrow instead of tonight.
I'll
So you
see
can
that.
come hang out.
Bungalow.
Bungalow.
I haven't had much work time today because my phone fucking. Well, my phone was fine today. My phone was broken yesterday, but today I got kicked off Twitter. So I spent most of the day going, motherfucker, motherfucker, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, it turns out you can't say the N-word in 6 tweets and stay
that
on
guy,
Twitter.
That guy did get himself completely.
Is
got
that
himself
forever?
jettisoned.
Does
I
that
think
happen?
so.
Is suspension? Oh,
He didn't get the same thing I got. I just got a post ban. I wasn't
Yeah.
suspended. So he's definitely like gone. Because all the posts are gone.
last thing. It's pretty annoying that Elon Musk, who said he bought Twitter and all this shit to stop cancel culture, is now allowing cancel culture to be a thing on Twitter through Libs of TikTok, who is just finding people who are saying, oh, that guy shouldn't have missed Trump or whatever, and then reporting that to their jobs and getting them fired. It's pretty fucked.
That is shitty.
Also, Elon Musk talked to Destiny tonight. Weird. All right. Should I eat pizza or shepherd's pie?
It's good. I gotta get rid of it.
Hey, Dad's going to Chicago. Dad's also going on vacation.
Right.
But that's obvious.
What got me banned from Twitter? I said, I hope white people die. Which is a very broad, general, not even like a threatening statement, not even an encouraging violent statement, just a broad, sweeping hope for some white people to die, maybe, I guess. But, that guy had said the N-word like 15 times by that point in the conversation, so I thought I'd be safe, but it took him longer to get banned than it took me somehow. All right, anybody else want me to watch anything else? Bird wants me to go to bed with him, as always, but I tend to do all my work late at night, so got to make some money to justify not going to bed. Otherwise, I'll just go to bed. Tomorrow is Simone. Tomorrow we will be group watching the first 6 episodes of Simone. We're going to watch episodes 1 through 6 starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How much longer are you on? That really depends on if anybody has any requests for me or not. And then, of course, Wednesday, we're going to be doing Umineko from 7:30. So tomorrow, Simone. Next day, Umineko. I've been meaning to make an announcement video about this. That's kind of what I meant by administrative work, is that I meant to create a specific video. I feature bloat these ideas. I was thinking it'd be a good idea to make a little announcement video. And then I thought, what if I did it where like I like wrote the announcement to the tune of the ending theme from the show, you know, Oh Desire. So it'd be like, I'm playing Umineko VN Wednesday nights at 7:30. You know, like, it'd be a really dumb idea, but I wanted to do it, and so I got hung up in my desire to do something too ambitious and stupid instead of something clean cut, obvious, and easy, like just make a announcement video that every Wednesday is Golden Witch plays Umineko night. What does VN stand for? Visual novel. Umineko is a visual novel. One of the most popular and beloved visual novels of the 2000s. Spiritual successor to Higurashi no Naku Koroni from the same author. And my namesake. I literally named myself after this fucking bitch, the Golden Witch. This bitch, Beatrice the Golden Witch. I literally stole my whole identity from this character, and I haven't even fucking read the novel. Because last time I tried, it looked like this, and I was like, I cannot with this. But the version that I'll be playing is going to look like, you know, like a normal thing, not like a shit thing. One of my favorite visual novels? None of them. I don't like visual novels. That's why I haven't played this one. Saya no Uta is the only one I've played all the way through and enjoyed. It's actually the only one I've played all the way through now that I think about it. It's only like 6 hours long or something like that. Is this guy trying to say that he, as a black guy, would punch me for saying I wasn't white? All I have to say to that is, bruh. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that that guy's black. I would need to see evidence. All right, nobody seems to be doing nothing. Pay me $40 to make a 1-minute announcement. Umineko X Trixie animation. That would be a great idea if I had $40. I will probably hire you to do some kind of animations at some point, Lucario fan. $40 for 1 minute is very low for an animation price. 20. Forget about this, Lucario. I don't want you to do that. But we'll talk about something in the feed. I don't have money to throw around on things for marketing. Like, the reason I haven't been paying anybody anything is I don't have it. The first person who needs to get paid would be Ellen. So, you know, then I can start spending money on the channel. But I ain't got that kind of money. But we'll see what happens in the future. All right, everybody, that's it. I'm ending this stream. I'm going to go do administrative work or something. Because Yeah. Good night.